we're back once again with Dragon of Icespire Peak. We're going to be rolling. We're missing a teammate once again. He's fortunately on a real life adventure, but in the game he's gone on a different adventure for himself. And we're going to join the rest of the team right now. What's happening, dudes?
Hey.
It's always so awkward when you start these things.
Nice.
Yes.
Are you live on Twitch right now?
Yeah.
Better believe it.
Let me refresh.
Okay.
Oh, boom, there he is.
Yeah.
I gotta have it up.
I had to change Orsek's name tag in a little bit, but
That's hilarious.
yeah.
Dude, are those the purple mushrooms?
Those are indeed the purple
That's
mushrooms.
hilarious.
Yeah. So I'm trying to like make it like progressively change as you guys go through the thing.
That's funny.
But yeah, so since we've run through a quick kind of refresh and update for our man Theron, does somebody want to take on the mantle of giving us like a 1 minute just quick shot of everything we went through the last time? I can do it if you guys are comfortable with it.
You're probably better at it than I am, or somebody else is.
Okay.
You could do it, dude.
Okay, cool. You sure? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the party wake up. Both Theron and Roscoe managed to lose their memory of the previous day. Roscoe mostly, and Theron not so much. Theron also gets visited by an ethereal cat and gets a book dropped off in his lap. All right. The book was then later discovered to be a guide to grafting for Theron. Frostbeard got some more details on his vision, and so did you, Kalia. The new visions pushed you into a pursuit into the Red Band's history and reveal that they were dealt with by all of you. All right. You guys go downstairs after you took a long rest and to meet, and Ula is down there sitting talking to Lupulu and Toblin. Roscoe is racking his brain to try and gain some memory back because of all the memory that he had just lost, along with Theron, who's doing the same thing. They all agree to imbibe the mushrooms. Theron, you were 100% on board with chewing down on mushrooms, apparently. Roscoe, you were standoffish to Ula, so she publicly ignored you. But there's a little bit of an adjustment there. The party followed the trail of their visions and ended up making their way to the Tresenda Manor, inside which they discover 3 goblin children, Snap, Crackle, and Pop. The children tell them that the entrance to the Red Brand hideout is where the entrance to the Red Brand hideout is, and they continue to explore the empty hideout. They find some treasure that was left behind by them previously, and they also fight off some remaining restless spirits. They struggle to cross a 10-foot pit, but finally exit the basement and make their way back to town, where they sell their weapons to Lenine, who's a long-lost friend of theirs from the previous year, and move to end their afternoon at the Stonehill Inn. Roscoe, you need to send word to your aunt if you want her to join you on this fiasco.
To join on which fiasco?
Well, you guys are going to go to the inn to go and have a couple of drinks all together to...
Oh.
Yeah. And you would have needed to go to your aunt's farm to kind of bribe her out of her house and bring her to the inn because of the dragon.
Yes. I will go do that before I head to the inn then.
Okay. And as you're walking to the Alderley farm, you hear some screams of fury coming from your aunt. And it seems to relate to some sort of cooking that she's doing at that time. Oh, Jesus! These bloody biscuits! What am I supposed to do with these things? That's what you hear coming out of the window. What would you like to do?
Well, am no stranger to my aunt's biscuit burning, if you will. So I just hurry on up just to make sure she doesn't burn down her place.
Okay.
And I hurry up and come to the front door, but not frantically, almost like it's happened again. She set the heat too high because she likes them crispy. And I just go in there and help her just pat out any flames that are in the room and everything like that. But I'm not like panicking. She's like mad and angry, but I'm just like classic.
Okay. She says to you, "Thank God you're here, my boy. Jesus almost burnt down the house." And then, like, you guys take the biscuits out of the oven, avoid them burning. What would you like to say to her?
Is it just me?
It's just you, yeah, because I think the rest of the party went to the inn.
Yeah, correct. Well, I say, how many times already this month?
Too many times, my boy.
You
Oh,
burn your
Jesus.
biscuits every time. We've told you countless times. You have to set the heat lower and just wait longer.
It's because my prize cow has been taken. I'm not using bad butter. That's why.
You can blame it on the butter, but I blame it on the heat. And I know you like it hot. All right, so
I do. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Those sultry nights back in the valley.
Well, look, my gang of buddies, my pals, we've been walking around, keeping the place safe. And I think you need a night away from the house. I think you need to come to the inn and come hang out with some friends in town, get social again, because clearly you got cabin fever so much that your fever's
The
causing
Lord
fire.
should have brought you sooner, my boy. Oh, let me go and get me jacket. I'll be right back. She scampers off and she goes and grabs like a little throw that she's going to put over her shoulders, and she joins you at the front door.
So I walk right beside her the whole way just to make sure she knows that,
All right, I think at this stage, like, you guys are Theron and Kalea, you're still sitting outside, waiting for Roscoe to come back. And as Roscoe comes back and you guys are kind of like looking around and chatting, you realize, strangely enough, it seems kind of weird because you guys just came back from this like huge kind of exploratory mission to the Tresenda Manor. But it's weird because Orsic isn't there. He's like, it's almost as if like the image of him is just like gone. He's nowhere to be seen, right? And Theron, you hear like a trailing voice on the wind that you recognize as your friend Frostbeard, and it says, "The wild seek me. Usher will turn in time. It's been an honor." And so we've got the aunt at the inn. We've got everyone else at the inn. What would you guys like to do?
Wait, so that was Orsic communicating?
No, it was just his like kind of like voice like traveling on the wind, and because he was thinking about Theron, it kind of entered Theron's mind.
But we didn't see him disappear. Or he just kind of like
he just kind of stepped away.
Yeah, such
You didn't notice him, like
do.
yeah. You guys were coming. You guys were coming from the Lion Shield Costa, and then as you were walking towards the inn, and Roscoe like disappeared, like he went, pew, and he just vanished.
Well, I asked my aunt what she would like to drink while she goes to sit, and I'll get it for her.
Oh, my boy, you know what I like. I like the hard stuff.
So I'm like, well, go take a seat, and I'll get you some hard stuff.
Do you want to point her to a table in the inn? She'll just like follow wherever you point and then sit down.
Yep. I point her basically to the table. Either like if our table's not full, I point her to the table that we're already sitting at.
Okay, cool. She goes and sits down. Do you go into the bar? Anybody else?
I would also like some of that hard stuff.
Roscoe's
The
menu
finest.
is getting deep.
Hard stuff.
Well, when I get up there, when I'm asking for, I need the malt scotch double barrel, and I pointed him and I said, "Don't let Lupaloo put any mushrooms in it."
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So, Grand, dear sir, it's great to have you back in the end. It's been kind of quiet without you guys around here. Yeah, I'll bring that out to you as soon as possible. Would you guys be looking for something to eat?
Maybe one
is it
piece
like
of raw meat.
Like midday right now?
Yeah, it's like around about like
that?
maybe 1 or 2 o'clock. Yeah.
Sure. A lunch sounds really good.
Great. I'll speak to Lupaloo, and we'll bring that out to you, and I'll make sure he doesn't put mushrooms in it. But yeah,
Thank you, sir.
we'll arrange that for you. You guys go. He puts out a couple of glasses, and he pours. How many did you want?
2 for me and my aunt.
What about Kalia?
Kalia.
Yeah. Did Darren want an old-fashioned style drink as well? No. Okay, cool. So we got the three bourbon, like, or the 3 whiskeys like pushed out to the bar. You guys can grab those and you can go and take a seat. And then a few moments later, you hear Lupaloo and his squeaky trolley come out of the kitchen. Up to your table, and he kind of like bumps into it. And he offloads a brand new recipe, and this is what he says to you. Say, "Hello, I'm so glad to have you back. I've been working on a new recipe since you brought me those mushrooms back.
Oh man, here we go.
Devour this delicious, wonderful bread." And he presents to you like this kind of like focaccia bread that's made out of the green mushrooms that you guys brought back. And it's got tomatoes, olives, feta cheese, and it's sprinkled with some kind of like exotic herbs on top. And then you can see it's like been really, really nicely baked. The oil's been pressed in really well. And he puts that on the table for you. And he puts on the side, he puts like a little bit of like cured ham and what's the thing? Like an apricot kind of preserve with it. And he gives you like a couple of spoons, a couple of plates and stuff like that. I hope you enjoy. Please let me know how it tastes. This is one of my best recipes I've been working on. And he kind of...
Lupaloo, my friend.
Yes, sir.
If I could just have a word with you.
Yes.
Just be honest with me.
Yes.
This looks delicious.
Yeah.
Is this gonna make me high?
No psychedelics in this one.
I'm taking you at your word, Lupaloo.
Guaranteed.
And I take a big bite of it.
I get
delicious.
a helping of on a plate of some bread, a few slices of ham, some different cheeses, and I hand it to my aunt. And then I make myself the same because I can feel my aunt like staring at me like, you better eat these nice people's food.
Yeah. I want you to plump up, boy. Jeez, the girls will never like you if you're not like stiff. You know what I mean?
You always gotta say the nice things to me.
I love you, my boy, but you know sometimes.
When you say the nice things.
And she takes a big bite of the focaccia. Oh, we lost somebody. Ryan. But anyway, so he missions off for these trolley. He's like, you hear him disappear into the kitchen, and it closes, and he's doing his thing. You guys are busy sitting there, drinking the whiskey that Toblin has served you. Don't forget about the whiskey in your water, your water thing, dude. Remember you picked up some really good bourbon in the dungeon.
I did, or
no, Calais.
It was me, really?
Yeah, Calais. You're the one that popped off.
I thought it was Theron that had it.
No, you popped off the lid. You got Theron to pop off the lid, and then you filled your own.
The mage hand. Yes. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm holding on to it for later.
Okay, cool.
If I get attacked by a mimic again, I'm gonna need some of that.
Alrighty. The other thing I wanted to do real quick while we're over here is share with you. So now that you guys are back and you've come after that like big kind of mission into the dungeon that you were at before, you faced a few challenges. Theron. I can't remember if I showed this to all you. Like, you're happy to show the book to everybody, Theron?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Let me see that book.
Changes.
Let me get in them pages.
A nice book you have there.
Did you get that?
Oh, I see it. I see the wizard book. Oh, there's pages and stuff too. What the heck? How do you even? Is it like a PDF in Roll20?
Yeah.
Is that a new feature?
I don't know.
I think
It was a feature. So Theron, like essentially what's happened is like your request to your god. Just hold on a second. To Ogma, to be transformed into like a different type of creature, has been serviced by this book. This book was delivered to you by an ethereal cat that would substantially, maybe later on, become your familiar. But this book is like kind of the guide to get you to where you want to be as far as like your makeup, like your physical makeup as a adventurer.
I can get wings.
Yeah, so like this is part of your training. You can get wings. You can change your tail.
Sick.
There's a couple of other things that you can do, but you have to go through these training sessions first, and you have to collect the materials in order to complete the trainings. And as you're going through the trainings, you're going to have to challenge yourself in each one of those aspects. And if you pass those aspects, like, you know, then you'll be able to complete that task. If you fail the task, you can go back and try it again later to see if you can complete it.
That's crazy, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's some Island of Dr. Moreau stuff going on up in here.
Yeah. This is it took me so long to find this. I think it's like from second edition or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool, dude.
I was trying to figure out a way to make our man Theron into what he wants to be.
What are you trying to be, Theron? Right now he looks like an elf, right? Or like a what is that what he is?
Yeah, he's an elf. Yeah.
Are you trying to turn into a pickle?
I'm a pickle elf.
That was the first thing I saw when I saw you could graft on rat parts.
Yeah, buddy.
That's crazy.
Alrighty, so you guys are sitting around the inn. You're reading the book. Like you can take some time to check it out and decide like when you want to go through your trainings. And whenever you want to do it, you just let me know. Make sure that you have your components together. If you
these things,
cool. If you want to find the components or you're having trouble trying to figure out where you'd find them, just ask me and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
And then, so you guys have been in the inn, and the grog is kicking. You guys are busy chatting. The focaccia is dead, like it's all off the table. And Lupaloo comes back outside again. It's like, hello. It seems as if you enjoyed my bread.
They sure did.
I have a little bit of the itis, so I'm just kind of like is leaning back with my mouth kind of half open. It's been a long day, Lupaloo. This really hit the spot.
Fantastic. Can I get you another?
I'm good right now.
I'm fine.
We should probably.
I will say the axe seems to be I don't know, kind of. I feel weird with the axe. The axe just feels like it's looking at me.
Henry, stop looking at him. You're making him uncomfortable.
Can you give him some meat or something? Doesn't that help?
I don't like to give him too much in a day.
Okay,
he has trouble sleeping if he has.
Does the axe sweat? Because it looks like it's sweating.
I polish it regularly. That's probably what it is. Okay.
There's a glimmer.
Yeah. Don't forget you have to sharpen your boy Henry at some stage.
That's right. That's what I should do is sharpen it. Not
just
feed it
protective
more
of
blood.
my aunt.
Yeah.
My aunt, I'm like,
aunt is fine. She's not nearly big enough.
You see her in the end of the booth, like where you guys are sitting. So you guys are seated at like a table that's kind of like set into a booth, and she's kind of at the end of it. And she's like busy slamming back these whiskeys, and like Toblin keeps on feeding her more whiskey. She's like, "Meow!" Going crazy. She's loving.
She hasn't been out of her house in like so long.
Yeah, she's literally like she's giving you these wet, crazy aunt kisses and all this kind of stuff. Wow. She's like saying things like, "Oh Jesus, I love y'all. I couldn't believe this town went any other way except with you in it." She's starting to get very reminiscent. And just as that starts happening, Lileen walks in and sees Toblin behind the bar, and like kind of gives him a little bit of a nod, and he's like points at your table, and she's like, and he says the usual, and she's like, yes, yeah, the usual. She comes down and sits at your table.
This is the gnome girl,
no,
right?
No, this is Lenine, the lady that you sold the weapons and stuff to. You asked her.
Oh, she's the armor lady. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you asked her to join
about
you.
NPCs.
Well, I ask for a cup of grog to cheers to her with.
Okay. And then she just like whips. She whips her hand around like this and kind of gives Toblin a little bit of a wink. And he's like, okay. And he comes over with like a very, very stiff, old-fashioned for Lenine. And then puts down a pint of grog for you, Roscoe. Anybody else need anything?
I'm good, but can I ask her about sharpening Henry?
You can, of course, yeah.
I ask her about sharpening Henry.
She's like, yes. I can't think it would cost you too much. We've got some good utensils back in the shop.
When could we get that done? He is looking rather dull.
Yeah, a little bit blunt indeed. Well, I'm off work now. Coming to join you on your request, perhaps in the morning, and we'd have it done maybe in about 2 hours.
That sounds great. Gentlemen, should we perhaps go visit these dwarves that need to be warned about the white dragon? I was just remembering the dwarves because we lost ours. I guess I just want to be around dwarves.
Lift up my grog with 2 hands, and I'm like, to Lenine!
Lenine cheers you with her thing. Just above the table. So you guys have 2 quests left in this particular level of quests, and if you wanted to
this, okay,
level, I don't know.
Low level.
Low.
Quest. Yeah, exactly.
Enough
with the short jokes.
Okay.
Enough with the short jokes.
If you wanted to do both of the quests in a single evening, I'd suggest doing the shorter one first, which is Umbridge Hill.
So not the dwarves. I correct myself mid-sentence. I said, you know what? To hell with the dwarves. Orsic just leaving us like that, forgetting about us. Maybe we should check out Umbridge Hill instead. And then I wink at the DM.
Sounds good.
I say, to Bridge Hill!
Oh, God.
And then I just drink the rest of it that's in my hand.
And Theron, are you just sitting there calmly in the corner, just like watching these guys?
Are you twiddling your beard by any chance?
Sober
AF.
Okay. Cool.
I look over at the innkeeper bartender. I'm just like, I think maybe he's had. I think that's good. Maybe bring him some water. We have adventuring to do.
My aunt kept ordering drinks. I couldn't help it.
I mean, you got to.
When you're with a Welby, you gotta throw back with your fam. You know.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. As you guys are like kind of getting up and wrestling to like move on to your next quest, you guys can go back to the job board to confirm the quest. But like as you're kind of like getting up and moving, Roscoe, you kind of feel a little bit uncomfortable in your pocket.
What is in my pocket?
So you dive down into your pocket and you realize that there's...
Don't say a ring.
No, there's no ring. But do you realize that there seems to be a little wrapped package inside your pocket? It's got like a little bit of twine wrapped around it and a little bit of paper, but there's something heavy on the inside.
Well, I kind of turn away as everybody's kind of walking, and I look at it, kind of examine it.
Mm-hmm.
Try to see if I can see anything that's kind of recognizable
Okay.
first.
Okay, cool. So it's just like, it's kind of like, it's very small. It's kind of like maybe around about that big. It's got paper wrapped around it. And as you untie the knot and like open it up, the paper kind of like unwraps. And on the interior of the paper is a piece of platinum. It's a platinum coin. Okay. And then on the piece of paper is scribbled, "You're weird, but I like it. If you change your mind about me, you know where I am. Winky face, Ula."
Oh, wow.
She somehow snuck that onto you when she left the pub earlier.
Oh, that's good.
Sent you an emoji.
Well, I take the paper. I try to make sure my aunt isn't looking. I just fold it, and I put the paper in my satchel, and I put the platinum in my coin purse.
Sweet. Speaking of which, Calais, did you add the platinum that she gave you the last time to you entering?
I don't remember, but let me check.
Just add another 10 gold, because I didn't see you do it in the replay. So
I have it says I have one platinum piece. I don't know if I added it to Theron though, because I'm
Okay.
a jerk.
Yeah, I don't think you did.
Why does Theron need money anyway?
Yeah,
Not like
he's-
he's spending it on
Team pot.
booze.
wizarding all these times.
He has to buy some rat tails.
Okay, so so Roscoe, you get up, you hide your bounty from your aunt, and you guys are moving away from the table. Do you want to say anything to her before you leave?
I just kind of say, I just tell because she's got a crowd with her now. She's being super social. And I say, somebody walk her home after all this.
Yeah, and
I'm
then
like, I'll see y'all.
Toblin puts up his hand and says, "Yeah, no worries. We've got plenty of rooms if she can make it back. And see you lads later." Do you want to go back to the job board, or do you want to go?
We have the thing in the in our journals.
Yeah.
We could just go there to get a Dabra Gwyn.
Yeah. Deborah Grin is the lady. That
So
you're
we'd be
looking
heading
for.
to the stone windmill, right?
Yeah, you're heading to Umbridge Hill.
I feel like we could just hit that since we have it in our journal. We just
Yeah, let's just
Head
do it.
that way.
Let's just go to the windmill. Sure, it will be. We'll just talk to her, and she'll come back, and that'll be all there is to it. I'm sure.
Yeah, should be totally convinced. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how D&D
Easy
works.
Easy.
Easiest 25 gold I ever made in my life.
Okay. So making. Oh, hold on a second. I need to do this first. Okay, those are cool. Making your way from Fandlin, you start walking through rolling green hills. The wind sweeps through the hills, bending the tall grass gently. You approach the area ahead of you, and you see a series of stone cairns at its peak. As you crest the hill, you notice a stone windmill settled on the lower plane of the hill assembly. The windmill is encircled by an iron fence and presents like a welcome beacon for any traveler. It's the home of Adabra Gwyn, a well-known and well-liked part of the Fandolin community. A light breeze gently turns the turbine. As you watch it slowly turning blades, you realize that there appears to be a large, winged monster with a spiky tail at the windmill's base. It seems to be trying to knock down the front door. You get a little closer and you realize that there is a woman in the second floor window. You ascertain that this is probably Adabra Gwyn. As she sees your party arrive, she starts to wave frantically, yelling, A little help, please! Getting closer, you realize that along with the windmill are the ruins of an old stone house. The only thing that remains is a fireplace. Alerting the beast to your presence, it turns and knocks down the fireplace with its tail. You hear a booming voice from the beast. Unless you have wares or money, I suggest you leave or suffer a bloody demise. And what you are faced with is... Let me see if I can roll you guys here. I don't know if I've set you up here. Have I? I have.
We're on another map now. Oh boy, that's some kind of
Theron, I'm gonna get rid of you and put you back. Just hold on a second.
of some kind. Oh crap, we're all the way over there.
What?
What would you like to do?
I think we should kill the crap out of it is what I think, but she seems to be. I'm a little concerned that there's just 3 of us.
Could do.
Okay. Well, I mean, it did talk to you. That obviously means
It sure did talk.
it's got some sort of... I don't know. Maybe it's got a reasoning. Maybe it doesn't. Yeah.
Could
We
we get
can ride
closer to it so that we're like if
You can,
stuff goes
yeah, you
down,
can.
We're like
So you're not in initiative
better
yet.
range. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just
Are
moved.
these like so? These are like hills. Like, is this like that's like elevation or something?
Yeah, so this is 40 feet, this is 30 feet, this is 20
okay,
feet,
okay.
this is 10 feet, 0 feet.
And there's like this whole like how high is like this little fence that's around here? Like, could we hop that fence if we needed to?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably just a little bit lower than waist height for you.
Oh, for me.
Yeah.
I'm not hopping that fence. It sounds like.
Maybe we just the 3 of us kind of huddle up a little bit, and maybe we could decide what we're gonna do.
Well,
Maybe if we like kind of get some better positioning, maybe around it, just in case the only way around it is to fight. We're not all clumped up together where we can get smacked around.
Yeah, probably a good
Yeah, I
idea.
mean, I can get, if we're gonna take this thing out, I can get at more of a long range distance and just kind
Oh,
of
right. You got a
sneak
crossbow
in.
anyway. Okay.
I can sneak in from the side and try to do some work.
You know what? You do you have? No, forget it. Okay, what do you guys want to do with this thing? Do you guys just want to like beat the crap out of it, or try to
Reason with it?
maybe?
I think we
If-
give it money.
I think if anybody's gonna reason with it, it's either Theron or you, and I'll stay on the waist side, so I can have the advantage on the sneak attack if talking to it doesn't go down well.
I think that's a good idea.
So I am looking at this house and thinking if y'all approach it directly from here, I can kind of just stand outside right here, and if this beast gets concerned, he's like, oh, he's just making sure nobody bothers us kind of thing. And I'll just kind of stay out here. And then that's within enough range to move and get a side piece, and then maybe I can move from this direction and kind of be on the outskirts.
Okay. All right. Creature. What is your name?
My name is Destroyer of Worlds. What is your name?
That is an interesting name. I am Kaler.
Galer sounds
Windward.
delicious.
Windward of the Windwards. You've probably heard of us. Anyway, what do you want?
This is a good shit.
Wants shit. He said he wants.
Yeah.
We don't have any shit.
You can take a shit whenever you would like.
I want life. I want food. I want riches. I need to make sure my family survives. Why do you interrupt my quest?
See, we were sent here to help this lovely lady who you have cornered inside of her windmill. That is our quest. Perhaps we can both fulfill our quests.
Perhaps. What do you offer?
What do you want?
I've already relayed my wants. What do you offer?
Didn't I still have some? No, I don't have the meat in my backpack, right? I already fed that to. Well, we don't have any food. We could just. I have gold. Would gold help you maybe? Get back on your feet again.
The amount needs to be secured and appropriate. What do you offer?
What about 25 gold? Would that be appropriate? Good sir, destroyer of worlds.
And he looks at the door that he's busy breaking down. Kind of looks up at Deborah. Looks around at the farm. Kind of noting his surroundings. He's not threatened by you at all, but I think he's just like taking note of where he is.
And I just like, as I'm talking to him, just kind of approach slowly, but at a speed that doesn't arouse any kind of suspicion.
Okay.
Maybe, I'm just walking slowly, but if he starts to look like threatened, then I stop, you know? Just let me know at what point.
So he kind of like turns around towards you as you're coming down, and he kind of like stands and bulks up over the fence. Go no further until we have come to an agreement. And he's kind of like...
I wanted to get a closer look at our friend, make sure she's still safe.
You're making him really angry. So chill. He starts looking around the hill, and he kind of like takes in note of like all the trees and everything around him. And he's like looking at you, and every now and then he looks back at your partners. He's particularly worried about Roscoe, who's trying to like step on his side. He's like looking around and says, 30 gold, and we have an agreement.
And you will leave and never return, destroyer of worlds?
I cannot promise to never return, but I will leave.
Well, we need to ensure this woman's safety.
That is not my quest.
I just want to kill him so bad.
I look at him, and I look at what? I didn't have it up, and that's where that sucked.
What?
Claire. I look at Claire. Sorry. I almost said Theron, and I was like, now I can only think Theron. I look at Claire from as far as I am, and I just shake my head like really lightly.
$25 gold, and we have a deal.
30 gold, and I will leave.
I measure
And
out
then,
the
like,
25 gold
as he's saying that,
forward.
like, he kicks the door again with his massive foot. It is basically the size of your chest. It's like. So what did you say you're gonna do?
I was gonna take the measure out the 25 gold and toss it, so it's like somewhere between, probably around right here, like somewhere between him and us.
But he asked you for 30.
Well, that's what I did. I threw 25 out there.
So not 30.
He's welcome to go. He's welcome to go count it, if he'd like.
Okay. Cool. So he moves forward, just to this kind of like area here where he's close to the end, because he knows that Adabra is kind of like a hostage situation for him. And he says to you, do not throw the gold to the ground. Bring it to me with your own fair hands.
Okay, so I walk up And I pick it up and I say, if from this distance you can see it is a very well-made velvet bag. You can keep the bag. If that sweetens the deal.
I do not care for the bag, I care for the gold. Count it.
Yeah, count it from here.
You gotta get closer to him so you can see. Because
Okay.
you're like behind the iron fence right now.
Okay, dude. Okay, so I go around the fence. Can my friends come closer just in case? Make sure there's
Theron's
no
like,
funny
"I'll go."
business.
He's starting to, like, you can see the spikes on his tail starting to lift a little bit. And you can see, like, the fur on his back starting to spike as well. Like, he's feeling like this is a very uneasy situation, being surrounded by a bunch of people.
Okay, so I take out the gold and I count them 5 gold at a time, and I get to 25, and I just go, oh, I must have miscounted. 1 second. And I pull out another 5 gold and I say, here, 30 gold.
All right. Lay it
have a
on the
deal.
ground. Lay it on the ground before me.
Okay. So I walk up and I put it down right in between us, right there.
And then as you get closer, you can feel the hot breath from his mouth. Breathing on you. It's like difficult for you to like kind of like take in oxygen because his breath is so dense and moist.
What a lovely day we're having today.
And he looks down and this long tongue kind of curls out of his mouth. And he wraps it around the bag that you put down on the ground, and he picks it up and he pulls it back. And then you just see him with like one flick of his wings. He goes, woof, and all the grass around you just goes woof, as the wind settles, like as he pulls off and into the air. He's now up in the air and he takes away very, very quickly. And like he's just like with every swing of his wings, he's like gaining 30, 50, 100 feet. He's just like, whoosh, and he floats off into the mountains in the distance.
Sir, you didn't give me a receipt, sir. But I'm sure it's fine. Well, he'll remember me. I'm a windward. Okay.
At this stage, you see a dabber like in the window. She's super excited that you guys have gotten rid of the thing. She's like, "Oh, thank you! You're my saviors! You're my saviors! Please come in."
All right, we come up here and come right inside.
You come right inside. That's what she said. Yeah, so she basically like thanks you for saving her from this massive beast. And she offers up just hold on a second. In order, like, to thank you for your efforts in saving her from this massive creature, she gives each one of you a health potion.
Oh, nice.
Oh, thank you.
This is an absolute pleasure. It's the least I could do. Least I could do. Thank you so much.
Well, look, we came here to get you back into town. There have been there's been a white dragon sighting, and it's not safe for you here, especially now that we know this creature might return at any moment.
Right.
Please come with us.
And she retorts with, I can't leave. I can't leave. I'm hope for the town. I'm the only one that makes these potions.
Adabra, would you please reconsider? You're supposed to come back with us.
I don't think I can.
We have a quest.
I have a
maybe.
job to do.
Maybe what we can do in town is ask, because everybody's under the pressure of the white dragon right now. We can ask around town and see if somebody can house you in your potion making for a while. And somebody can house you until this is kind of a issue of the past.
No. That would be too much work to move all of my equipment. Is there something I can give you in return that would assist you in your completion of your quest?
I mean,
Potions are helpful. Do you have any kind of special items or weapons? Maybe something that could help us defeat this dragon, so you wouldn't have any reason to be unsafe anymore. Maybe something for killing chimeras.
She kind of looks at you a little bit awkwardly. She's like, chimeras? No. But who sent you on this quest?
Harbin
Shopboard.
Wester.
Okay. And she says, okay, I'll tell you what. I'll write a letter for Harbin Wester. And I'll give that to you, and perhaps that'll satiate his desire.
The Manticore is what it was.
Manticore.
I think it's nasty.
How about she teaches me how to make the potions?
I think that'll be a while. Be here for a couple of
Be
weeks.
here for a bit.
Yeah.
I got time.
Our friend Theron is very smart.
Well, I
Sure
can
he
put
could learn.
I can put together a recipe, and perhaps your wizarding hands can maintain the control and concentration. But you'd have to
It
come
might
back to me in a little bit.
Might be nice, Theron, if she happens to have anything you might be looking for from your book.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Like pizza.
Give me a slice. Hey, do you have any pizza?
Unfortunately, no pizza. The mill is down. I use the space for health potions.
Yeah, I'll show her my my book and ask if she has anything for me that's in the book.
Okay, let me just double check this because it's been a while. Okay,
Song from Fable?
she says to you,
Song is from Fable.
the herb mixture is a fairly easy concoction. I can definitely give that to you. The Dwale anesthetic, I can very definitely give that to you as well. Any other of the parts on this particular list you might need to find in Fandolin. And she wanders off and she goes to her little like apothecary table. She grabs a few things and mixes it in a bowl. And puts together this like little mixture in a bottle, and it turns out like this like very, very dark green. And then she puts that aside, and then she kind of like waffles through the bottles that are on her apothecary kind of shelves, and she pulls one off that's purple. And she's like, okay, cool. And she grabs those two, puts them in a bag, and brings them over to you, Theron. She says, there you go. That's one bottle of anesthetic and one bottle of healing herbs.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'll throw her a tip.
Just the tip? All right, so
We're in a hurry. We're on a quest.
yeah, so you guys are done here. So what do you want to do next?
Guess we head back into town or head to the dwarves.
Okay.
Since this only took us like 8 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because the next one might
The
be a little bit.
Manticore come back and
Oh,
eat
that's
her.
why I was like, if I say a word during this Manticore thing, it's not gonna go well. Because I would have been like, if it would have been like 30 gold, I'm gonna be like, here's an arrow.
Always give the money.
I almost thought about saying like, yeah, can you write a letter to those people that will take 30 gold instead of 25?
That's why I said 25. I figure that's how much they're paying us to
Yeah.
come out here. You know,
Smart.
but now
That's why you wanted a receipt.
5 gold coming out of my damn pocket. Yeah, exactly. He's not gonna believe me? Hey, yeah, I gave this money to a Manticore. Reimburse me.
That's
He
why you
gets
got.
that all the time.
That's why you got the party pot, right? The long drop party pot.
The what?
The long drop party pot.
Party pot.
Oh, the party pot.
Yes, for the long drops.
Forgot about the long drop party pot.
So where do you guys want to go? Do you want to go into town, or do you want to mission on to your next quest?
Are the dwarves like
Yeah, so
Closer to
like
here.
not really. They're closer to you now than they were when you were standing in town. But the
Okay.
Do you want
distance
to go to
is like
dwarves without our dwarf, though?
I
That
mean,
sounds dangerous.
this sounded dangerous. I think we're gonna be in danger. We gotta do something.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to the bar and drink with Lupaloo.
Hey, our
Not what
dwarf
please looked after you
made
so well.
our
man.
dwarf made his choice.
He didn't hear that. It's okay.
Our dwarf made his choice, and it's time for us to make ours.
Yeah, your
Yeah, maybe we
dwarf
can
is.
make
And I don't want to get killed by dwarves.
But maybe we could
Well-
find a new dwarf, a better dwarf, a dwarf that will never leave us or forsake us.
We got in a poll for no reason. Okay, so is that a consensus between the three of you, dwarves?
Off
Sure.
to the dwarves.
All right. So you start wandering from Umbridge Hill. There's a road that kind of carries you along the base of the Sword Mountains and kind of moves you into where this excavation is supposed to be happening. And as you make your way out of the foothills and into the massive rock formations of the mountains that surround you, you're steadily covered in shade from the walls of a canyon, jutting 80 feet into the air. This canyon is still and quiet. The air is cool, but it smells raw and musty like wet rock. It appears to be bereft of vegetation, except for a few scraggly weeds clinging to the surrounding rock face and embedded in the dirt floor. As you continue walking, you approach a 20-foot high wall of smooth black stone. It's a stark visual contrast from the rocky canyon. The massive wall has a gate carved into it that appears to be broken. One stone door still hangs precariously by an aging hinge. The other door is missing. Beyond this open gate, you notice what looks to be a settlement, shaded by the peaks of the mountain. You hear the occasional loose stones tumbling from the nooks and the crannies of the canyon. Let me just shift you guys over there. Yeah.
Thought the Rockies would be a little more rocky than this.
Theron, let me just replace you there.
Come on, Ryan's the only one that smiled at that. Yeah, that John Denver's full of shit.
Oh, what the heck? No, I can't see anything. There you go. Oh, Theron, for a second there, I thought you looked like a beautiful woman. Lupaloo
might I
told me
say-
there were no hallucinogenics in that bread, but you definitely don't look like a beautiful woman now.
You look awfully different.
What would you guys like to do?
Start making our way.
Yeah, just approach the open door.
I've, of course, kind of check our peripherals here
All right.
because I'm a little like, what's going on here? I just, I look at Kal-El and I kind of give him that like SEAL Team 6 like.
I like reach out my hand to like give him a high five. I don't
just-
understand. Is it a halfling
slap
thing?
it. Slap it. I'm just like,
By the
No.
way, it's Kalair, not Kal-El. I'm not
Kal-El.
Kryptonian.
Superman.
Killer.
I get that a lot though. I do have the
I
physique.
get that a lot. Kaler Wind Waker. Get it? Go.
Can he see anything from here? From the
I-
from the doorway without what kind of walking in?
I didn't
Yeah.
see anything.
So essentially, like as you guys are standing there in this kind of doorway, you see sort of a resemblance of ruins, but because you're standing beyond the door and not inside, like you can't see anything more than just like some broken walls and
Do we hear anything in there?
No, not right now.
Get in there,
It seems
big
like it's
X-Man.
clear. It seems okay. I walk on in.
Alrighty.
I wait for Theron to walk in first so I can sit in the back.
Aaron is busy. Just give me a sec, guys. I'll be right back.
Big back of the pack guy.
That's a good place to be.
It helped me last time when y'all freaking went on those undead things, and I was just like,
No, that's how you gotta be. You know.
I'm just gonna keep snapping people with this thing.
What? How come
Shazamming people.
Shazamming? How did they do that? To just clear that one area? Okay. Guess I have a very narrow line of sight. Manticore. I wanted to kill that Manticore.
Me too.
But I
was
figure
thinking
we don't
about-
have Orsic. We're down a whole party member. What if we like get our asses kicked? And
I
he
thought
just
I had more to
eats
do
our
with-
faces.
There's not really a lot of loot you can get from one, so I was like, is it gonna be worth like the punishment we're about to receive?
Alrighty. What's happening?
I'm just waiting for Theron to walk in second so I can walk in third.
Alright.
I'll take a couple of steps more further in. Is there more I could see now?
Yeah. You pass through the broken gates, and what appears before you is a ruined settlement. There's a grouping of approximately 6 ruined buildings of various sizes. It appears as if they've been buried for a long period of time, but the marks in the broken walls and stone indicate that this area has recently been uncovered. As you make your way through the ruins to the east, you notice 2 large open doors. You see a pile of rubble resting at the base of the doors, and the doors themselves are part of the facade of a temple that has been cut from the rock. Separating the doors from the courtyard you occupy is a series of steps rising to meet the stone platform and 2 10-foot high walls built from black stone. Banking the doors are 2 alcoves that appear to hold large statues.
Hey, Remo, I think my token might not have sight assigned to it because I could see stuff once Theron walked in because I'm assigned that token too. But when Tyler was in there, I couldn't see anything.
Might not be daylight.
I could see.
I can see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because when he walked in, then I could see it, but I couldn't see it when it was just Kaler because I have both tokens.
I know you have vision, but it's at night.
What? So it's because he has dark vision that you could see.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, can I light up a torch
You can, of
so
course.
that I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see too?
What's the specs on that again?
I think it's like 15 feet bright light, maybe.
So 30 total
see.
and 15 bright.
It's 20 feet radius dim light.
Okay.
No, 20 feet bright light, and then another 20 dim light.
Okay.
I'm not used to being a human, crappy old human.
Does that work?
Yeah, that works. I could see like the light coming out behind.
I just I'm kind of searching around, just kind of eyeballing, trying to see if if there's any looks of knowing where the dwarves went. Just trying to really study the floor and the ground, or like kind of making sure that we're going the right way.
Okay, cool.
Is there anything like kind of left behind in the ruins? Like, does it look like people were here
Yeah, so it looks like
recently?
the stone marking, or the markings in the stone walls, kind of indicate that this area has just been recently cleared.
I'm just being hyper observant to just the walls, the floor, making sure I'm not walking on anything or.
There's
anything.
no signs of like a struggle or anything like that, or like.
No, just give me some insight into what you guys are seeing right now, because like I don't know if it's doing what it's supposed to be doing.
I can-
Now that I
I
got
can
over
see-
here, I can kind of see some people
Yeah.
over here.
Same.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool.
So as you pass through the walls, you get a clearer view of what they were hiding. Another two piles of rubble are to the north and to the south of the crumbling statues. Or north and to the south. And the crumbling statues in the alcoves depict two life-size cloaked dwarves. Dwarves carry an evil grin on their weather-worn faces. You hear the sounds of speech coming from behind the rubble pile at the top of the stairs. And these are the words that you hear. I said we should pack the meat, but no, you wanted a pillow. And you hear another voice, like a female voice. Oh, come on. You can't tell me that your creaky neck doesn't love a good pillow. Now eat up your soup.
I go. Hey up. Hey up.
Then you hear
Let
like
me know we're there.
yeah, so you hear a little bit of silence initially. And then one of the dwarves kind of like steps up to meet you. This is the female dwarf. It kind of steps up to meet you and she goes, hello? Can we help you?
Hey, we had to come up here to warn you guys. There's a white dragon rushing
white-
through town. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, a white dragon. And then she screams across the pile to the other guy and she says, see, Norris? I told you, we shouldn't have come out here all by ourselves.
It's like, we're here to warn you about the white dragon. It's terrorizing a lot of the town. You
Okay.
could come up here and start destroying stuff. We're trying to tell you guys to try to get back to Phandalin. We're trying to get somewhere safe. So we're here to just warn any dwarves that are in here, because we heard there was some dwarves excavating this area, and so we're trying to tell them to hurry up and get safe.
All right. And then you hear the other dwarf go, you smell to me like you're lying. Are you sure there's a dragon about? We've been working on this for ages.
So-
There's a manticore that breathed on me earlier. That's probably the smell that you're smelling. I'm sorry.
And Deslin kind of giggles to herself. She thinks that's hilarious.
And I say, well, next time you see Auntie Willoughby, you can ask her about her cow that got taken by a white dragon.
Willoughby? I don't know Willoughbys. But if
What?
you are truly adventurous, we've been working this dig. This is Deslin talking to you guys. We've been working this dig for a fair amount of time. And we could use your help if you have some sword to spare.
I have an axe.
I have
Axes,
a bow.
swords, any sharp edges are good.
It talks to me.
So,
I have some sortage.
Not evil at all.
so essentially, what happened was we dug out this entire canyon. And we opened up this temple, but once we went inside, we met with some very vicious animals that I fear that we can't overtake. Perhaps people of your stature can handle that. And then you hear noise. Yes.
Well, we are
We're doing-
adventurers.
we're just gonna do this for fun. Or
We do have stature. Yes. What is Is there some perhaps compensation associated with this quest line?
Well, Norbis and I usually carry a pair of sending stones for ourselves, but we'll be willing to give those up to you if you'd be able to help us.
Sounds good. I also I heard something about a pillow.
A pillow? That took ages to get here. You really want to take Norbis's pillow?
I mean, I keep waking
it's
up
a
with
my pillow.
this crick in my neck.
it's a my pillow.
I thought maybe a pillow.
Hold on.
Right.
How did you find out about us, first of all?
Well, you were talking pretty
I saw
loudly.
the commercial on the TV. I saw the commercial about.
Why were you here?
Wait,
Why
yeah.
did you come to the canyon?
Oh, Harbin Wester. He told us to come warn the dwarf prospectors.
Right.
There's a white dragon.
So if you're staying in the village, why would you want a pillow from me when you can get a better pillow from
Oh,
Toblin?
you made it sound very nice. If you don't want it, that's fine. I was just.
Let's go. Onward
Let's-
to slay the stuff.
I'll tell you what. If you make
Pillow
quick work
fight. Let's go kill the
of
stuff.
yeah.
I just immediately, because I'm thinking like, God, the pillow, really?
Well, you got a
So I
blanket
wait.
the last time, dude. So don't question it.
No, I mean that's just funny how he's like. trying to
only
make
only
these
you could be
pillows.
only you could be comfortable. Okay, I'm sorry.
I didn't steal my blanket from like a person who needed it. I gave it to people
Trying to
who needed it.
exchange. We're trying to barter. Come on, I'm out 30 gold from the Manticore. I need.
That, and I
something.
shook my head. I shook my head.
All right.
We'll take the sending stones. And we'll be back. And we'll. What are these things actually? Are they
they called?
Manticores? Maybe?
And Desmond says to you, I have no idea. Norris says she never has any ideas. And then she says, like, we were in there and we were working, but they attacked us. We managed to escape. I didn't get a good look because it's very dark inside.
You know, these statues look kind of what's the word? Evil. Do you know about the history of this place? Maybe something that could help keep us from dying.
The best that I know, and Norbus could probably speak better to this, is that this is an old dwarven temple dedicated to the god of greed.
Oh.
So we're excavating.
30 more gold.
We're excavating to see if we can find some details on this particular god, so we can deliver that to the archives.
Is this god
Okay.
liked or not liked?
Depends on which side you're on, really.
Do y'all like him?
Not my particular god. I like God of Joy, but you know, Norbus likes to be the god of grumpiness, but and then Norbus goes, ah!
Pillows. God of comfort.
I'm like, I got a feeling this is can't touch much in here. And I just like kick a little rock and I'm like, let's go.
Okay.
All right, we'll be seeing you.
All right, so you enter the massive doors of the stone temple. The light from the exterior falls on the walls that are smoothly hewn from solid rock, but show signs of age. Moss and algae gather and cling in the gaps where the water has seeped through the cracks. As you look around you notice some of the spaces are choked with rubble and dust. They look difficult to navigate, but luckily there are some clear routes through the piles. The stone doors are kept at bay by large iron spikes hammered into the floor. You think that this is probably Norbus and Dazzlin's doing. You can see these doors expertly carved, and they rise up to meet the 10-foot ceilings. As you peer into the cavernous interior, you notice the only light is what is being reflected from the outside and from your torch. There's an eerie silence to the temple. Dazzlin's voice echoes down the main hallway, letting you know about a secret door that they had uncovered during the excavation. Norbus follows up with a warning. You should be careful. Adventurers are always reckless.
Like, he doesn't know me.
I mean, yep, 100%. I agree.
It was one. I just touched the mimic one time.
And that's why adventurers come out on top. Boom.
Can I just check this room? Is this? part
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
same room, or is it a
Yeah.
separate room?
So like as you go into this room, you notice that this is probably the secret room that they were talking about originally.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's just like filled with a pile of rubble, and as you walk in there, you find it kind of like hard to like step and move. It's in fact difficult terrain.
Is there anything I could notice in the room that I can like
Roll a
traps
perception.
or anything?
Roll a perception check.
All right. That is a 19.
A 19.
Yes.
You notice all the loose rock, the piles, the smoothly hewn walls, but beyond that, you don't really see anything else. It's an empty
Walls.
room.
I just kind of touched the wall. These walls are awfully smooth. And I just take another step inside.
Alrighty.
And around this rubble. Is there anything here? Is this go anywhere? Like, does it look
So-
like it like caved in or something?
Yeah, so what it looks like to you is that the rock has like collapsed from the ceiling. It seems as if some kind of like massive like disruption caused this rock to break and fall down to the floor, but it's completely sealed this area. Yeah.
Maybe there's another way around. I communicate that to the party. Rocks sealed. It just
Got it.
need to find another way. Yeah.
Check.
All right, go in here. What is this thing over here?
Okay, so as you guys walk into this room, your torch fills the area with the light and kind of like evens out everything. You see an alcove to the east with sort of where's that thing? An altar. And on the altar you see like a little bit of blood. And then you're standing amongst 4 pillars that help keep the ceiling intact. Overall, that's all that you see right now.
Hold real quick. Let me look at something.
Oh, Theron, hey.
Hey, everybody.
Darren, can you give me a quick perception check?
Come up behind Theron.
I don't know what a perception check means.
So if you look in your character sheet, your perception check should be, you've got the big numbers all the way to the left, and then just immediately to the right of those big numbers is a whole long list of things. In that long list, there should be something that says perception. You can just click on that.
Okay, hold on.
Believe in you, Ryan.
You can do this.
You can perceive.
Find it.
This whole time, I'm very, very shifty with my eyes. Just
Okay.
because my family and my aunts talk about the god stuff and mention a little bit about their, kind of deep rooted in like the gods of fortune and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I'm very much like, if this has anything to do with this like god of greed, I'm very like shifty, watching things around me. Just kind of like, I'm like comfortable, but I'm like just a little on edge, just a touch.
Okay, can you roll me a perception check as well then?
Sure. I can do it faster than Ryan because I got real dice. Because I go hard.
Hey, Ryan, it's like it should be like right here. See where your charisma is at? Like the negative, it's backwards, but where the charisma is at, it's like right across. You have like.
Where do I find that in the
three.
roll 20 though?
Oh, okay.
Like bring up your sheet.
Yeah, so if you like on the left hand side of your Roll20 window where your character token is, there's like a thing that looks like a newspaper, like a little icon at the top that looks like a newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
You can click on that and you roll down to the bottom and you'll see your name, Theron Gallonodal. If you just click on that, it'll open your character sheet or it'll open your bio, and then the very next tab on your bio will be your character sheet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That thing's not opening.
It's not opening.
I know. I see where it's at. It's not opening though.
Are you clicking on your name
it-
or? Are you...
Yeah. Is it because Carlos had a thing on it or no?
No, you should both have access. But I
Does it show your name though? Is if it shows your name,
Yeah.
then you should have control over it.
yeah.
And if you can move your token, then it has.
Yeah.
You
I
could
just
also
can't
try
open it.
try holding down Shift and then double click your token. That's like a shortcut to open up the character sheet too.
Ah.
These honey roasted pistachios and the chili roasted. First time. Let me tell you,
Boom.
D&D snack, primo.
I got
I got
nothing. Oh wait, hold on. I got it. Now I got
Sweet.
it.
Awesome.
I have my pop-ups disabled.
You gotta have the pop up,
classic.
the snap, crackle,
Security.
pop up.
You gotta pop that
This
up.
ain't 2001, dude. Pop-ups don't really happen
Security.
anymore.
Security.
I got a 13, Remo.
You got a 13. Okay, so like as you're looking around and you're trying to identify like any kind of troubling things in this particular area, you notice that the walls in this room seem a lot more, I guess the best way to explain it is wet
Oh, okay.
than like the ones where you came in, where you saw the moss and everything. Like the moss was taking up the moisture, but in this room, the wetness doesn't seem to be. There doesn't seem to have any moss growing out of it. Ryan, you want to roll that? Did you find it?
It's still not coming up on the. Making sure it's not behind some of these other windows.
Okay.
Behind window 35. Okay.
Yeah.
How many tabs you got? How many rolling deep?
I don't know.
Remo, do you got wine there?
Hmm.
Sipping on
That's-
a little.
I'll take that as a yes.
Hmm.
Mm.
Are you sipping on some scissor?
Ryan decided to leave Roll20 and come back because
I had
Yeah,
to
it's how you
restart
get
my
this to work.
browser.
Maybe that's what's happening.
Hey, Remo, can you just send him a link? That was the best comment ever. Ryan's thinking it's before 5 o'clock, and we're inviting him to a Zoom meeting.
When you do like 18 of them per day, sure that's like
He just like send me a link. It's the first thing that
Normal.
comes to his mind.
another one. Sure. Send me a link.
All right, now we're happening. Boom.
Oh, it's happening.
Sweet.
Happening.
At that perception.
Perception is a 3.
Yeah, so just
Click
click
the word
click on the
perception.
word. Yeah.
That's like your
We'll hear
bonus to it. So that means
Boom!
damn,
Damn, boy.
double.
The dude is perceptive.
He's
Going-
so perceptive.
Yeah, going from like rolling like nat ones in the previous game to rolling nat 20s in this. Just once, bro. Just once is good.
He just keeps clicking it. Not good enough.
He's like, I'm perceptive.
Perfect isn't good enough.
Okay. So, Theron, as you're standing there, you're looking at this altar and you realize that it is indeed covered in blood. Previously, you just thought it was like a dark liquid. But as you're observing the blood on the altar, you see like a thin little sliver of this wet liquid kind of like dripping from the ceiling and kind of land on the altar and kind of spread a little bit. It's very, very viscous. And I don't know what you think about this, but for me, I'd probably be alarmed. And in that moment, you realize that above you, stuck to the ceiling, is this massive glutinous mass, kind of like crawling and starting to stretch down towards you and reaching out to you and Kaleo. with its
I just
long.
yell. Oh, go ahead.
No, Karen.
Sorry. I just yell as soon as I start to kind of like see something droop down. I just yell at both of them to get back because like I'm on edge.
Okay.
So I'm just like, get back. Sorry,
guys-
I didn't mean to.
No, you're
interrupt your
good. You
explanation.
guys have an opportunity now. You can give me a dexterity saving throw to get out the way. To see what happens.
Oh,
But
you bet your ass I'm gonna try.
Wait,
to
did
get
that-
the wall. Oh,
Did that
damn it.
happen because I yelled for them to get back?
no, like you yelled for them to get back. They like Darren was only just noticing it,
That's awesome.
and they decided not to do anything. You yelled, and now
You
they have an
a
opportunity to
negative
step back.
1 in
I
dexterity
never thought about it
save.
like that. That's funny.
Your saves are like at the top of that same list where the perception was, Ryan. It says saving throws. Just click on the one that says dexterity.
Yo.
Oh damn! I got a big fat 6. Is what I got.
Okay, cool.
I'm
Pretty
wearing
sure I'm
heavy
out of the
armor,
way.
man.
You're like, what?
Huh?
So Theron, as you're looking up at this thing and you hear the words of Roscoe echoing inside your head, you immediately just act on instinct and you just step back real quick and you manage to avoid being in contact with this particular creature. The creature continues to come down and lands right near Calais and decides to make an attack. Just hold on a second.
Move your token back like 1 space away from it. You don't want to be too close to this thing.
Okay, it's gonna make an attack on you, Calais.
What? What'd you say, Roscoe?
Oh.
I can't hear you.
There's this big slime thing coming from the ceiling. I don't know what you're saying.
What's your AC?
Explaining it.
What's your AC, man?
Oh, my AC?
Yeah.
It is 17.
Ooh, and it just hits you.
Son of a.
Yeah. Let me find the.
I pulled out my shield just in time. So actually, my AC is
Before- Before it lands.
19.
Not gonna take this time. Okay. So you take a total of 5 bludgeoning damage and 2 acid damage.
Dang, acid damage.
You guys are now in initiative, so if you could roll me initiative, that'd be wonderful.
13 for me.
13.
Calais, I think it'd be, I just picture it being like, step back. Oh, hold on. There's this huge glitch. Wow. You just start explaining.
It's yellow. It's you want to know what it is, right? It might be friendly. Let me just see what it wants.
Yeah.
Maybe I could bribe it to go away.
You just throw gold and run.
Like, Temple of Greed, take my money. I got an 8.
You got an 8. And Roscoe, what did you get? A 13.
Yes.
And Theron, do you want to roll? So initiative is also on your sheet, kind of like towards the center. It'll give you like a big number on top of it, and the word initiative is just underneath. You can just click on the word.
Oh, I forgot to add. I'm sorry. I forgot to add my 3 to the initiative. I'm dumb. I got 16 then.
16.
Got 7.
Sweet. All right. Alrighty.
Here we go, baby.
So this gelatinous golden creature gets to try and attack whoever's around it at this point in time. It lashes out at you again, Kalia, because you're the closest creature to it.
Do great up there, bud.
And as it tries to lash
I don't
out,
think
like
it's friendly, guys.
as it tries to lash out, it kind of like misses that throw because it's like it's still coming down from the ceiling and kind of rolls off the edge of the altar, kind of rolls back, and as it's rolling back, it tries to hit you, but it misses. Let me just double check to make sure it doesn't have anything else.
I don't think it wants my money. I think it wants my life.
Yeah, you should be good to go. So next is Roscoe.
I take one step back, just to have more of a range to see, and I light crossbow this gelatinous thing.
Okay. Give me an attack.
Sure. It's gonna be 16.
Okay, you definitely hit it.
Okay.
Give me a damage.
And then my I'm not sneaky. I'm not in sneak, right?
No.
You should have sneak attack because I'm within 5 feet of the target.
Okay.
It's
I always
engaged.
forget.
If one of your allies is within 5 feet of the target, then you get sneak attack bonus as a rogue.
Yeah, thanks, Carlos. I would have ruled that otherwise.
No, that's the only thing that makes rogue. Otherwise, rogues do terrible damage if they don't
Yeah.
get their sneak attack bonus in.
And that
They're
bonus
built
is
that
1d6.
way. They're built
So what is
around
it, like
being able to do that.
3d6?
Should be a
It's a
1d6. I think.
Yeah, 1d6. That's it.
Yeah, at that level,
Okay.
it scales with your level. So
And if I'm proficient with this thing, that just was that +5 attack. That's all that means.
Yeah.
it
Okay,
should be
cool.
part of your like attack.
It could. I have that on here. I
Right.
just forgot which one it had to do with. Cool. Right.
What'd you get?
11, 12, 13, 14.
14.
Nice.
Okay.
Went with the green dice.
Green dice.
And you're shooting your short bow or your crossbow?
Yes.
Short bow.
No. I'm shooting my crossbow.
Your crossbow. All right.
Yes.
You're standing there, time slows as you're moving closer towards the pillar, and you lean out with your crossbow, and you
Shazam.
and you hear the elastic release, and you hear this arrow just like flying through the air. It goes past Theron's ear, and it goes past Kalir's ear, and it hits this gelatinous creature like right in its center, and you can see it like buckles from the pain that it's just received from this arrow.
And y'all
It's
heard
taken
it.
a-
When it went by your ear, you heard the Shazam.
Shazam.
Did you just say Shazam?
And as the arrow hits, like a little bit of the gelatinous kind of like liquid on top of this creature kind of splashes onto Kalir's face.
Oh, why do I always get dirty when
What? You get stuck on everything.
always?
Okay, Roscoe, can you do anything else? How
Um,
many feet did you move?
I moved just like literally one space back.
Okay, so 5 feet.
I was going to, right after my turn, if it's possible, move behind this pillar
Okay.
just to kind of be, stay hidden.
Okay, and then as you move behind that pillar, you start hearing a noise coming from your right-hand side. You hear this like kind of slopping sound. And you look up. And as you look up, Kalir's torch is highlighting some of the ceiling, and the light that's coming through the two pillars kind of like indicates that there's something above you. And it's another one of these gelatinous creatures just hovering.
Oh,
Gosh, it's huge.
And
offer it some money.
as it comes down and it sees you coming around the thing, it's going to try and take an attack on you because it's got the upper hand. What's your
My
AC?
AC's 14. 14.
14. Okay, it tries to lash out at you, but it's still too high on the ceiling. It's kind of like stuck to the roof, and it goes, and you just hear the whip of this wet pseudopod attacking right in front of your face, but it misses you. Calais.
I am not happy about being. I mean, getting attacked is one thing, but then getting this ooze on my face, I'm angry.
Mm-hmm.
So I pull my axe up, and I
What does Henry say to you as you pull him out?
swing it so badly. I'm not even thinking about Henry. I'm just my axe is. I just want to hurt the thing because it got me dirty.
Okay.
But I missed terribly,
Okay.
and then I kind of curse at Henry under my breath,
God damn it.
and I say, "Oh shit." No, that's all. That's all I do.
That's all you do.
Yeah, that's all
Okay.
I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna miss terribly.
So as you strike out with your axe, Henry just hits the top of the altar and clangs with the loudest ringing of steel against stone. It echoes through this chamber and around these pillars. And
Henry.
Darren and Calais, you can hear this visceral kind of like squelching sound, kind of like starting to crawl back over and towards you. Darren, you're up next, buddy.
Should I hit it with a spell or no?
I mean, yeah.
I'll do Ray of Frost.
Okay, go for it.
Solid.
So the left number is 19, the right number is 25, and I got a +5.
Yeah, so the +5 is already added for you. So the
got
19
it.
would have the 5 added already. So like when you're rolling for an attack, that the left number would be the one that is your actual attack, unless you have advantage. In which case we
so
choose
19
the other.
then.
Yeah, you definitely hit this thing. So if you click on as a Ray of Frost, and then it should show damage for your.
Like in the actual chat, if you click on the name Ray of Frost, it'll calculate the damage for you.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Right above it, like not the where it says Ray of Frost, not the spell description. There you go.
Boy.
Yeah. All right. So you get an 8.
So
Solid, dude. Frosty. Stay frosty.
cold. Everybody chill.
Carlos gets it.
Okay.
Carlos gets the stay frosty.
Do you want to explain how this happens? How you do your Ray of Frost?
Very much like Sub-Zero.
Yeah. It's like
You literally just go, and you just like do the classic like Sega Genesis.
yeah. So as you stand back and you roll your hand backwards behind your chest, and you bring it forward and you thrust all of your magical might into this like energetic attack. You just go, "Pah!" And this ice ball travels from your hand and hits this jelly square in its central mass. And as the ice hits this gelatinous thing, it like kind of like travels over the entire object and it goes, and it freezes for around about a second. And the freezing kind of like cracks off a little bit. And then as it cracks off, you can see parts of the gelatinous mass start to fall away. And it starts moving towards you very slowly. I just need to add this guy.
Kind of like the movie The Blob.
Yeah, pretty much exactly like that. Oh, man. Okay.
Thought it was mustard is what we were fighting.
Just a big old pile of mustard.
You can
I
fight.
hate mustard too. Like I hate mustard.
It's a good thing you
No,
don't live in
quit
Chicago.
shaking your
I
head,
was
Ryan.
gonna say.
You stay
You're thrown out of
where
Chicago.
you're at.
Okay, Roscoe.
You are gonna eat the mustard.
You better eat them. Eat the mustard.
Roscoe, this gelatinous mass starts coming down the wall and kind of like sticking to it and sliding down the side of the rock or the stone. And it kind of crawls across the floor and comes up towards you. and lashes out with another pseudopod attack. Jeez. The damage I'm running for these guys with the attacks is so bad.
Eyebrows.
What'd you say your AC was?
14.
Yeah, no. So it tries to lash out at you again, but you manage to just like lift your foot just in time for it to smack the floor. And you just see like this wet little bit of like gelatinous stuff left behind where it's lashed out at you. But you are not damaged.
What?
Next, this is going to try and lash out at you, Khalil, because you're the closest creature. It's starting to crawl towards you. It's climbing over the altar now. It kind of like just
Making weird noises at me now.
making weird noises. And it hits you.
Son of a...
Hits you with
Luckily, you got a potion earlier today.
Not the face, not the face.
hits you with a 23.
Jeez.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, Khalil. Jesus. Okay, it hits you with 10 bludgeoning damage,
Oh my god.
and then hits you with 5 acid damage.
What?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Yeah, I'm unconscious, guys.
Oh, you're
Man down.
unconscious.
Yep. I
You're
had
on the
13.
floor.
I had 13 health left. So now I am knocked out.
Oh shit. Okay. Next, Roscoe.
And
And,
my face is dirty.
your face is dirty.
Okay.
and stuff.
I say, this is not very okie dokie. And am I in melee range of this blob?
I think you'd have to move up a square to be melee.
Okay, cool. So I don't have to use cunning action to like disengage. I can just walk away.
Yeah, you can just walk away. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
far enough.
So I'm gonna jump out of my pillar spot, and I'm literally going to like come over here,
Okay.
and it's gonna be like a cool little like slide, and then kick off of the pillar, and then come here.
All right. Can you give me an acrobatics check?
Oh, I will give you that acrobatics check. It's called style points. 22.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely make the move.
Just like last session when I like slid in and
Between someone's legs. Yeah.
exactly. I think it was Theron's legs or somebody. So yeah, I slide back to here and pointing my crossbow, I give her a whirl at this one specifically.
Okay. So, I think the way that I'm going to rule this is that because Khalil is down or unconscious, that the creature is not engaged with anybody else. So if you try and attack it, it's not going to be a sneak attack.
Even though I was just in hiding from it behind the pillar.
Yeah, I can see you now.
Right. Well, I mean, but during my turn, I came out of hiding to attack.
Yeah, but like the thing is, if you move into its vision, it can see you, right?
I don't know exactly how it
If
works.
you- The way the mechanic works is like if you're hidden at the beginning of your turn, then you're considered hidden, but then you would have had to make a stealth check against its like
Perception.
you have to, hiding is an action. So
Yeah,
like,
but you're
with your
also
cunning action.
yeah.
You could
you-
hide.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
You're-
you'd have
you're
to,
also-
like on your last turn, you'd have to say like, oh, I'm gonna hide, use my cunning action to hide, and then it's a stealth check against the creature's perception, as long as you have cover. But then
Yeah.
if you pop out and you shoot, you can the hiding still counts as long as like.
But
'cause they don't
you're-
see it's still your turn.
But you're
Okay.
you're in open area right now. Though.
Right,
Like
right.
you went from cover to open and then you slid back into the open. So
Yeah, I get it.
doesn't-
I didn't know
it-
how it worked per turn, but now I do.
Just
So we're
just so you know, Remo, like that doesn't affect it for the purposes of stealth. Because even like halflings, they have an ability that lets them, like if you wanted to stand behind me and then
Mhm.
choose to hide, he could do that and then pop out and then shoot an arrow.
yeah, but I
It's
mean,
like-
like you can't stand in the middle of a room and expect to hide if the thing already sees you, right?
As the like rules is written, yeah, because it's for the purposes of what hiding means, like the mechanic for sneak attack for rogues. Like if you can't do that, then you're kind of like screwed.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I just thought it was
Especially for the halfling, because then like the only time you could do that is in combat. Like if you run behind a friend of yours, you hide, and then you
Mhm.
pop out and shoot. Like you're gonna be like, just because somebody like a character like a monster saw you already doesn't mean that you can't hide from them again.
Yeah, but you can't
Like,
hide in the open. Like a
No,
better
you'd have
a better
you
attack
would
would
have
have.
to have cover. So like since he
Yeah,
was
so
behind the pillar last turn, if he had chosen to hide then, or said
Now I
like I'm
see.
gonna hide, then on this turn he could pop out and shoot, and he would be considered. He'd get the sneak attack bonus.
I see.
But you have
I
to
see, I
like
see.
do the hide, because
had to
rogues
said
even
that-
have like a cunning action. They can hide as a bonus action. Everybody else, they need to do a full action to hide.
yeah.
I see. That totally makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Great. So I should have said I hide last turn to make this turn coming out of. Okay. Perfect.
And
So I'm just gonna
you'd be
shoot normal
hidden.
then.
You'd be hidden from this dude. You wouldn't be hidden from this one
Right.
because you're not covered. Like you'd have to get out of line of sight to be able to hide in the first place.
Makes sense. Cool. Well, I'm just gonna go for it and shoot anyways because I'm here. And I did that really cool like slidey move. So I mean, I gotta go for it.
Okay.
You gotta do it.
19.
Yeah, it hits.
Okay, so that's just a D8 now, no D6. 4. 4 is it?
4.
Yep.
Alrighty. You jump out of this little alcove where this gelatinous creature has kind of like cornered you, and you bounce off of the opposite pillar and you slide across the floor. And as you're sliding across the floor, you pull your crossbow back and you slot an arrow into the crossbow, pulling the string back so you get some of that elasticity. And as you're sliding across the floor, you hit almost dead center, dead center with your crossbow. But it kind of like, as you're sliding across the floor, it kind of just hits into kind of like the upper quadrant of this gelatinous creature and like goes straight through it. But you can see it's starting to feel hurt from all the attacks.
Do I have... So now I could use cunning action.
As a
to
bonus.
either-
Yeah.
Right.
You
Could...
can use it to move or to.
Don't-
Well, you haven't used all your movement yet, anyways.
Yeah, you'd have to break line of sight though. So you'd have to go somewhere where they can't
Like
see you in
here?
order to hide. Well, your man at the bottom there can see you. So if you're trying to hide from both of them, I'd say your best option would probably be like over here.
I'll just hide from... Well, yeah. You said the corner over there?
So like up here would probably be your best option, yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. And then, so now I have to do a stealth check to technically be hidden, correct?
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
do like
Okay.
a stealth roll, and then Remo, you would compare it to their passive perception.
Perception, yeah.
Okay, now I'm understanding this cool roguiness.
Yeah. And because you're a halfling, like you could do that. Like you could jump behind one of us. Like he's the only characters
'cause
that
I'm
could
small.
do that. Because you're tiny, yeah. If you go behind somebody that's at least one size bigger than you could be like, haha, where'd it go? And then
I got it's so I add the roll plus my stealth.
yes,
that would
your
be
stealth
22.
modifier.
Yeah. So as you duck behind this pillar, the light from Kalir's torch is not enough to kind of light up the area that you're in, and it kind of gets divided by the pillar that you're standing behind. And as you dive behind that pillar, it's almost as if you disappear into the dark.
Dude, rogue is awesome, bro. 7 on stealth. That's like
Yeah, you should
That's
pretty much never
nasty.
fail a stealth check, but it happens.
that's crazy.
Okay,
Man, I
K-
like using the cunning action. That's so clutch.
Kalir, you said that you're unconscious.
I can't talk. I'm unconscious.
Okay, cool. Can you give me
I am
Can you-
unconscious.
can
I
you give
gotta
me
make my death save.
death save? Yeah.
Oh god. Thanks a lot, Orsic.
We blame it on Orsic. If
He's
you're
our
watching,
healer, man. Because if I get healed for any amount, then I come back to 0. So I guess one of you could administer a health potion if you get to me.
administer, he says.
I mean, yeah. Just.
Needs a soft, gentle hand.
Administer it, please.
Just like
Yep. It's just
shove it
it's
into
just
their
a 20.
chest.
Oh yes, I got a 12. So that's one. That's
One
one
save.
success.
Alrighty. Two more to go,
Still
dude.
alive. Well, you do one per turn. So
Yeah. So 2 more to go.
yeah. As long as I don't get attacked again while I'm down there, and then that's an automatic 2 fails.
Theron, up to you, man.
So it says that I can do my Ray of Frost from 60 feet away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
am I safe distance if I'm doing that?
Yeah, you got more than enough range right now. Yeah, you could probably, like, if you wanted to, you could step back, like into the hallway, like maybe another 3 or 4 blocks and still hit him. Yeah.
Dope.
We're like, Claire, hope you're doing all right. See you later.
All right. Got a
Alright.
6.
No.
Oh. And as you cast your ray of frost, it flies through the air, and because you were like stepping backwards to try and get some safety for yourself, the ray of frost kind of like bumps upwards and hits kind of the corner of where the ceiling and the wall meet, and doesn't actually strike the gelatinous object in front of you.
I was trying to make a Jello pudding pop.
It's a
Yummy.
valid reason to do ray of
Pudding
frost.
pop.
I love pudding pops.
Okay, so this Theron, can you do anything else? Do you have any like bonus actions or anything like that? Carlos, you were playing his
Where do I
character.
check those?
There'd be like specific spells. Let me see. It would be under your you go to your character sheet. Let me see which ones are. I don't think any of them are bonus action. It's just shield is a reaction. So if something were to hit you, you could use shield to like
Yeah,
not
shield
get
I
hit.
can use.
But otherwise, I think maybe arcane no, that's it. It doesn't have any bonus action spells.
Okay, cool. So you got your movement. You've got everything. This ochre jelly. Let me actually show you guys what this thing looks like.
Like mustard. Delicious mustard.
Yeah. You can see
very
that?
much. Yeah, mustard.
That's
Delicious,
What is it
mucusy
called?
mustard.
It's tapioca.
I was about to. What is the one that's a gelato? It's just a pile of gelato.
So this one here in kind of the south alcove is going to try and make its way through these 2 pillars over here,
Making my way.
Suck it in.
and it's going to squeeze itself around this pillar over here, trying to make its way closer to Theron or Roscoe. At this point in time, I can't really do anything else, so we're going to move on to the next one. And this one over here is going to start crawling towards you guys as well, because it sees that your living bodies are there, and it just wants to consume your life. It wants to eat every single breath that you have left in your lungs. And as it does, it slowly climbs over Calais, leaving a mucousy mess all over the top of his body.
Of course.
If I were conscious, I would hate this.
And that's where it ends up. So
Is it on top of Calair?
it's kind of like part of its appendages is like on top of Kelly. It's like kind of like resting. It's like all kind of slimy. You know when you get licked by a dog,
Oh god.
like a really slimy dog, like that's what this feels
Really
like.
slimy.
Yeah,
those
like
those
It's
dogs
the
that like to
Slimer
cheat
from
at poker.
Ghostbusters.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Slimer. Yeah. Oh.
Man,
Okay, next Roscoe.
got slimed. I'm getting
So
slimed,
Roscoe,
guys.
you are hidden behind the pillar. They're coming towards where they last saw you. So you have an opportunity to use your sneak attack.
So I'm going to pop within sight of the one on top of Calair. I have a
Okay.
question. Do I know what happens to these things when they die?
Not right now, no. I guess you'll have to
Okay,
find
I
out.
wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that.
No, I wouldn't
Cool.
say so.
Then I'm gonna pop out real quick, like, and take a shot.
All right.
Shazam!
Shazam. Give it to me. What did you get?
Nat 20.
Nice.
Nat 20. All right. So double your
Wait,
damage
what's the
roll.
green?
Green? The
Double
green.
your damage roll and your
You
I think
get
it's
to
just
do
your
a double sneak attack also, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Wow.
no, he doesn't get it. Well, no, he does because he's hidden. So you
Yeah.
roll 2 d6s on a
And
crit.
then
Also.
whatever your damage roll is.
Rogues with the burst
Wow.
damage is
Holy
where it's
cow. So do I add the plus? So instead of +3 piercing, it's +6 piercing total.
at. No, you just
No.
double the dice. So
Yeah,
you
so
roll
you-
twice as many
Great.
dice, but the modifier
Great.
stays the same.
I got to roll all of my dice.
Lots of dice. Ra-da-da.
Just rattle them around in your hands a little bit and just go
16, 17, 18, 19.
19.
Nice.
Yes!
Okay.
I love rolling all the dice together. That's why I like having 2 pairs, because when you get double, it's just
How do you want to do
I
this?
need to play.
I know they can't see me, and so I even just kind of close my eyes, and I just turn and I open them, and I just get that, and it's like slow motion in my mind, and I just pull it out, and it's already loaded, it's already ready, and I
Ready to
just
go.
I can kind of see Kalair reaching his hand out, and it's on top of me, and I Shazam, and it like echoes through the room, and I can literally see it finally see me, and it make whatever noise it makes, and I just see it like perfect, exactly where I aimed,
Yeah. Okay.
and
Yeah.
Kalair's in like my peripherals, like.
Okay.
I think I can just see his hand outside of the little bottom of the mustard.
It's like he's been set on by a big dog. Yeah. So you're standing behind the pillar, and while you're waiting for everyone else to do their thing, and Theron casts his ray of frost, you pull back on your crossbow, and you ready yourself. You take a deep breath, and you know this is going to be like one of the final turns. And you turn around the pillar, you swing over your crossbow, and you let it go, and it goes. And the Shazam follows the crossbow into the dead center of this gelatinous creature. And as it strikes the creature, it's almost as if the arrow of the crossbow can't be touched by the body of the gelatinous creature, and it just separates as the arrow like drives into it and just explodes into this like jelly mess all over the room. And the strength of the arrow kind of like, as it's driving through, pushes this jelly backwards like this. It's this explosive mass that kind of spreads all over Kalair's now prone body, but also against the back wall and against the altar and everything in this room. The creature is now dead.
Okay, I was already covered in it. Yeah.
So I have motion.
No skin off my back.
I have enough motion. I have enough movement to get to Kalair from here.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So I just take it here,
Mhm.
like right beside him. And can I use a bonus action to give him a health potion?
No, that's an action.
That's an action.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take my bonus action up back in this corner, and I'm just gonna stay behind this pillar. Or actually, I'm gonna just go to this far corner away from any light and try to hide back there.
Okay, so you're going to Kalair and then trying to go back, or are you going straight there?
I guess I went to Kalair thinking I could give him the potion, but I guess since I'm kind of like, well, I don't have enough time, or else I'm gonna get. In my mind, I go to Kalair and I'm like, oh, he could probably see me, so I quickly dash to that corner.
Okay, and what's your
Try to
speed?
hide. Speed is 25, so that wasn't enough.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to make it that far. So, like, you stepped out, that's 5. And then 20 would have put you in front of Kalair, so you can't really move from there.
Okay, I guess I'm just gonna try to hide behind that pillar the best I can. Then
Okay, cool.
after I took the shot,
All right, do you want to give me your bonus action hide, or?
yeah, I'm gonna make my bonus action hide. I got a 19 plus stealth.
Alrighty. Yeah, you're definitely hiding from this Okajeli. It's like its attention is now focused on Theron, who's standing behind the doors. Kale, can you give me a death saving throw?
Yes, I can. Come on.
I see him trying.
This is a 6, so that is a fail.
Okay.
1 fail, 1 success.
Alrighty, mark it down. Theron.
Mark it 8, dude.
I can see him reaching out, his body trying to come back, and he's just
Blowing slime bubbles.
That's literally exactly what's happening.
Slime bubbles.
Theron, what would you like to do, man?
I'm gonna do another. I feel like the Ray of Frost is my strongest attack.
Okay, go for it.
Dude, you have stronger spells than that.
Which one? What do I
So
got? Tell me.
So if you look at your sheet at the top left where it says cantrips, those are spells that you could just do indefinitely. So those are like your
I
basic
know.
spells.
Yeah.
If you scroll further down, those are your first level spells, and you can only do 3 of those per long rest. So those are they're gonna be stronger. So Burning Hands, Magic Missile are gonna both. I think Burning Hands is probably the strongest, just raw damage, but Magic Missile is guaranteed to hit. Less damage, but guaranteed hit.
Yeah, I have to be super close with the.
It's 15 feet. You know.
Yeah, you're definitely within 15 feet.
I know, but I want to stay far enough away that it can't attack me.
Okay, well, I can give you a little bit of insight into this character based on your current experience. So you kind of understand from their previous movement that they can't move any further than 10 feet at a time.
Got it.
Yeah.
You could always attack and then move further back too. Like it doesn't. So you can do it in whatever order.
Each square is how many feet?
5.
5 feet.
2. All right, so I'm 15 away, and then I'll do Burning Hands.
Isn't that a melee attack?
No, it's a 15-foot cone.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, Shocking Grasp is the melee one.
Owns.
Big save.
It just says 6 fire.
Yeah, so he's the way that spell works is the character you're doing it against, they have to roll to see if they get out of the way or not. So that's what the number is up there above it. The DC 13 is, and even if he saves, they take half damage, but if they fail, they take full damage.
Wizards are tough.
And he saves with an 18.
What a bastard.
Dude.
So what do we get? 3.
3. That was a real bad damage roll. It's a 3d6 and there's a 2, a 1, and a 3.
Oh shit.
I'm like Sonic the Hedgehog in this room, just bouncing around.
Yeah.
Like...
we need some of them green dice, man. You gotta tell us where you got them green dice.
No, you gotta get 2 sets of dice and then do the roll before the
Now
session.
I know. See, I've never been that superstitious, I just, believe in probability.
I wasn't either. I wasn't either.
But
all right,
shit.
Let's move on.
I don't want to die.
Damn,
I want to hit things, maybe it'd be nice to hit something.
Kalia, I hear you talking, but you're dead.
No, this is me talking, baby.
Right, okay.
It's the axe. The axe is just...
Kaler's just going...
Theron, can you do anything else, brother?
No, that's it, man.
Okay, cool.
Just staying out of the way.
Okay. So the Okajeli that you just struck is now kind of like a little bit confused as to where to go for, because it's seen its friend get exploded by the character next to him, and he's seen you strike him with his thing, but I think his biggest threat is the one that's close to him. So he's going to move 10 feet. And he's going to try and get close to you, Roscoe. And he's going to whoop-lash! A pseudopod attack.
Does he know I'm there?
Well, he knows that that's like where the explosive damage came from of his buddy, right?
So I'm no longer hidden.
Well, if he can see you now, yeah.
I think I'm confused how hide works. So if I get it,
Well, the
like,
thing
it
is,
it doesn't matter if I roll good or not. It's just like
think of it this way, right? So, if you're in a space, any space, right? If you were behind the pillar, like over here, then he wouldn't be able to noticeably identify you. But you're standing next to the pillar because you ran out of movement, which puts you into an open field of vision where you just exploded his buddy. And the torch that Theron lit is still a light, which illuminates you.
okay.
Yeah. So, like, the idea is that, like, you have to be able to get out of line of sight, but it doesn't mean that the creature won't be able to follow where he thought you were before.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also if you're in...
Hidden and invisible are two, like, different things. So you're not, like,
Got it.
invisible, but...
Got it.
But if they get within line of sight, then, yeah, they can, like, see you there now.
Yeah,
Cool.
so it's not like
Got
you
it.
instantly just disappear.
Got it. Hit me.
Ooh. Okay, so he's gonna hit you.
Bring it.
Okay, cool.
Freaking bring it.
Four.
Dude.
He rolled a natural.
1 damage.
He rolled a natural 20.
Oh, Jesus.
Bring it.
Okay. Okay, so that's 10 bludgeoning damage, and it's 6 acid damage on the first hit.
So do I minus this or you?
No, you do.
Okay, well I'm already down.
You're already down.
Yeah, I only have 15 health.
Okay, cool. Well, he hits you for another, what was that, 6, 8, 9 points. So in total, 16 plus 9. So you are
Unconscious.
on death saves. Yeah. And he can't really move from there because he used his entire movement.
Okay.
Next Okajeli is not there. Roscoe, you're out. Calais, you're out. Oh no, Roscoe, you need to roll death save. So give me a death save. Roscoe.
13.
Alright. I think you
That's
save on
the
that one.
one success.
And then Calais.
Green dice. Oh, I have red dice. Maybe I'm going to use the other dice now. That one betrayed me. But I haven't tested them, so who knows? Maybe this one will betray me worse. No, it won't. This is an 18. All right. That's 2 saves.
2 saves. Wonderful.
Proud of you.
Okay, yeah, I knew.
Okay, so Theron.
Me too. Okay.
So I'm gonna go within 20 feet, and then use sleep.
Okay.
On top of your body.
Go for it, man.
Great.
Nice. That might actually do it.
Good sleep.
Dope.
So as you roll your hands around and start conjuring this this spell, what kind of spell is it? It's like verbal and somatic, is it?
Yeah, so I do a pinch of fine salt, rose petals, and a cricket.
Oh, so there's a material component as well. So like
You salt
reach-
bay your sleep.
you reach down into your pouch and you start like pulling out the ingredients that you need for the spell, and you crush them in your hand. You start rolling your 2 hands together and you go like this, and you cast the spell forward. And as you cast the spell forward, it kind of like hits this gelatinous creature, and you see it cover the entire creature in this kind of like green aura. And then you see the creature kind of gets like a little bit kind of windy for a second, and then the aura drops, and the creature then is back up. And it's still awake.
They didn't put it. It had more than 23 hit points left.
Yeah.
Oh, that's ball.
Oh, that's a lot of hit points, yo.
That's a lot of hit points.
So the creature at this
I
stage,
would know. I would know.
the creature at this stage is going to start turning, and as it slowly shifts its vision to where this sleep spell came from. Theron, you with your dark vision can see this without any kind of like color in your eyes, but you can just see this like sloppy mess start turning and shifting, and it comes towards you 10 feet. It's not going to try and lash out at you.
You're ranged, so you
Yeah.
can just let it follow you around very slowly. Just boop, 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 boop.
I
It's all
can.
So Roscoe, can you give me a death saving throw?
3.
Oh no!
Kelly, final chance.
Oh my
Well,
God,
this is not your
please.
final chance to save. You got 2 more chances
Oh,
to save,
yeah.
right?
That's a 5. So
Dude.
that's 2 fails, 2 successes.
Next roll. Next roll might be rolling up a new character.
Be rolling up a new character, guys.
Thanks, Orsic.
Okay, Theron, back to you, man.
All right, so I step back, so I'm out of range,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna drop the shocking grasp doesn't say. Oh, that have to be close. I'm not doing that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do Ray of Frost because I can't do the I can only do the non-cantrips once, right?
Yeah, so like
you-
your
You
spell
have 3
slots.
slots, I believe. So
Yeah,
use
so
2. Use 1 for sleep, 1 for burning sand. So you have 1 first level slot left.
well, unless he isn't
So I
Ray of
could-
Frost
I could use
first
any of
level.
those. No, Ray of Frost is cantrip.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ray of
cool,
Frost
yeah.
is cantrip, so
Yeah.
you could do those
So I
unlimited,
could
but
do
the other
I
ones
could do another burning hands.
you could. Yeah, you have 1 slot.
Yeah,
You
so
should have
step.
1 slot left.
Yeah, so just step 1 square closer, and then we'd be good.
I remember you could use it and then like get as far away as you can from it, so it can't get close enough to you. But you can move, use an action, and then finish your movement. You don't have to do it all at once.
So sleep though I can shoot from 20 feet.
You could try it again, yeah, but if you don't roll, pretty much like what the way sleep works is you roll a ton of dice, and then if that amount is higher than their hit points, I feel like you rolled pretty well with that, so you'd have to roll super well to knock it out. But if you did knock it
Alright,
out,
so
it'd be
I'll
out
do-
for a minute, and we'd be able to get back up.
Yeah, but
So-
I don't know if you can knock this thing out with sleep right now. So,
Alright, so I'll do burning hands then from 15 feet.
mhm. So just need you 1 square closer, and then we're good.
Come on, fat, burning hands.
Giving him fat, burning hands.
I'm still level 1, right?
Oh, you should be
No,
level
you've
2.
upgraded, yeah. Level 2.
Oh man, I've been fucking up the last 2 then. It's fine.
So that means you should have another spell slot then, and then
Yeah.
more HP.
Alright, so 11.
11. Okay, cool. That's a save, right? No, it's
The
not.
save is 13. That's the damage.
Okay, and he
Wait, it
fails
should
his
be,
save.
Finally.
You have it? I think you might have a second level slot already at level.
No, level 3, isn't it? Yeah,
I'm
crazy
not sure.
spells. Yeah.
Wizards, dude.
So what'd you get? High level quality 11. No, it's 11 and 6. What?
No, he even at second level he would have he has 3 spell slots for his level. I don't know
Yeah, but
why.
I'm trying to figure the damage I need to deal
It
here.
should be whatever the first thing
6?
the 11. The 6 is for a higher level cast. What you can't do is you don't have any second level slots, so it'll just be
Right.
11.
Okay, cool.
I think you are level 2 though, dude, because you wouldn't have 3 slots if you were
Yeah, no, he's definitely level 2.
level
Right.
1.
Because you guys upgraded on the last session.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
Oh yeah, it
as
says wizard 2 in my character sheet.
okay, cool.
Wizard
As you
2.
as you like do the inverse of Sub-Zero. You cast your burning hands, and this flame comes out of your fingertips.
Like
and
Liu Kang.
Like Liu Kang. And travels through the air and crackles as it does, and it strikes this gelatinous creature right in its midsection. And you can see it's taken damage from this. Not enough to slow it down too much, but it's definitely taking damage.
The guy pops out the corner and goes, "Whoopsie!"
Am I able to step back after it?
Yeah, you should be able to have enough movement. I think you got like about 10 feet left. So you can step where it says, yeah, there we go. So you can step there.
Those dwarves are being like, "What are you doing back in here?"
And then this gelatinous creature kind of like, as the light is still flickering on the inside and the gelatinous glue from the exploded blob kind of starts seeping over the torch that Kalia had and starts dimming all the lights and everything, this guy starts stepping forward and steps forward another 10 feet. Roscoe, gonna get a death saving throw.
19.
19. How many successes? 2.
2.
And 1 failure.
Yes.
Kalia. Life or death, man.
Life or death.
It's all Ursik's fault no matter what.
That is a 6. Calais, Windward of the Windwards. Remember me.
Oh, shit, dude. That's not
The
good.
bubbles, the little bubbles have stopped popping.
Okay. That sucks. Sucks big time. Okay, so you're lying there, and as you're trying to like gasp for your last like breaths of life, you're like, and Roscoe's like lying next to you, his arm extended over your body, trying to kind of like bring you closer. You're lying there, and every single muscle in your body just starts to relax as you feel your life just evaporate from your now loose cadaver. Darren.
Yo,
And then Henry stands up and just starts killing everything.
Walking around.
all right, we're doing from. I can do from 60 feet. I can do the ray of frost.
Yeah, do what you gotta do, man. Chop this thing down. Let's just kill one of your buddies.
I'm going back. Ray of frost.
Alright, that definitely hits.
That dude.
Music's kind of fitting.
Okay, you see the ray of frost kind of like come out of your hands. This massive kind of ball of ice just floats through this hallway and strikes the gelatinous creature, going over it again. But this time, the crackling ice lasts for a lot less, and everything just like falls away. And there's only a few little bits and pieces that kind of like fall off of this creature, and it starts to move forward towards you. Moves forward another 10 feet. Roscoe. Can you give me a death save?
I got a 10.
Roscoe's gonna do this.
I got a 10.
Right.
Am I back up? Or it has to be...
Three of them. Is that your third success?
Yes.
Okay.
Then you have 1 HP.
Yeah, you're stabilized, so you can. But you'll have to use half your movement to get up and try and use.
He has his
I don't know.
potion.
Yeah, I don't know if you can use an action right now. Can you, Collis?
I don't know. I think you should be able to. 'Cause yeah. I think it would be until the next turn. I think because the turn is the death save. So then
Yeah.
you're just conscious, but then on your next turn you can do whatever you want.
Well, I look
I
at
think so.
Calaire, partially sad,
Okay.
and I see a tear roll off of Henry, like I see a tear roll off of the X.
Okay. Theron.
All right. Do this thing. Step back.
Actually, I looked it up really quick, and it says that no, a death saving throw is not an action.
Hmm.
So you
Oh,
just become conscious, and then if you're conscious on your turn, then you should be able to take an action.
Okay, well then I'll allow you to get up with half your movement and strike the jelly that's in the hallway if you want to, Roscoe.
Would this be a sneak attack or no?
Yeah, it would be a
Or
sneak attack because
you
he's
might want to take
engaged,
that potion also, just so you're not like
just in case.
in case some other thing jumps out and hits you for 1 damage.
Could something can't jump out and hit me for 1 damage right now, right? There's no way.
I mean,
wait, aren't you allowed? I would do your potion, bro.
trust me, as someone that's dead now, I wouldn't risk it.
I drink my potion.
Okay.
I should have taken that.
So I think it's a 1d4, is it? Or no? For health potion, it's
It should be like there should be a modifier on it too, I think.
yeah. What is this thing?
How come it's not in the?
Healing. 2d4 plus 2.
Come on, big money.
9.
Nice.
Right, yeah, so add that to your health and then
Holy crap! I had to move my screen over to see where Theron was.
So I stay here. If I get if I get sneak attack, which
yeah.
I should, then I'll just stay here.
Yeah, you got sneak attack because you're like it's engaged with
You're way
Theron right
behind
now.
it in
Yeah.
the dark. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna hit this
See
thing
you.
with the Ray of Frost again.
Okay, you definitely hit it.
Get that, you guys! Get that, son
6 cold.
Oh, dead hands.
of a bitch! Yeah, those dwarves
Okay.
are bro, like where?
Yeah, so
you
like
doing?
you strike out with your Sub-Zero frost ray. Your hands are swirling through the air and you cast this like bolt of frost. It flies through the doors and like chips off of those stones just in front of you. And it strikes this jelly, boom! And the frost travels around this jelly and like encases it in this frost shield for just a few moments. But you can see, like, as you're chipping away at its health, it's definitely losing a little bit of its like rigidity and its functionality. And as your attack finishes, Dazn and Norbus like kind of like watch you running out of this room, and they're like kind of fearful for their own lives. But like considering that you guys have come in to help them, they're gonna take up a mantle and they're gonna try and help you here.
Woo!
Dead dwarves now.
Don't worry, I'll tell them that they let you die, and I'll try to get more. I'll get that pillow.
Give me that damn pillow. You bury me with
Give
that
me
pillow. Sons of bitches. I want to be buried with that.
I literally thought of it. As soon as I brought up the dwarves, I was like, I'm gonna try to get that pillow. Oh shit!
Can I have the pillow now? Can I have the pillow now?
What would your pillow might have done?
He was still thinking about the pillow. He couldn't concentrate on battle.
This music is so fitting.
All right, Roscoe, you're up. So do you want to do an attack?
What you? Wait, did you say Roscoe?
Yeah, Roscoe Willoughby is now up.
Oh, you rolled
Roscoe's
initiative
up.
for them. I thought they were going next. My fault.
No, let's roll initiative.
Yes. I am going to. I'm going to literally hop over Color's dead.
No,
Dead
I'm
corpse.
dead. I don't mind. Whatever. Yeah.
And then I release a bolt
Okay.
into this gelatinous creature.
Remember to add sneak attack.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Okay, well, for attack, it's 13, so I don't even know if that hits.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. You also have advantage when you're
Yeah.
you're hidden from something. So you should be rolling
Oh,
twice.
Yeah, but you hit him anyway.
okay. I was about to say that one was lower, so 13. Okay, cool. All right, now I do. It's 13 points on.
13 points.
Yep. And as I release it, I go. I go. This is for Candle Wind Waker.
Okay.
This is
Then I
for
release the arrow.
This is for DJ Khaled.
This is for Khalid. Khalid Wind Waker.
Khalid.
All right. So you
Yo,
draw.
Yo Holmes to Calair.
Holmes to Keller.
You draw back on your crossbow and you fire it, and it travels through the hallway and strikes this gelatinous creature in its back. And as it strikes it, you can see there's some kind of separation of its body, and the arrow just like sits inside, but you can see like everything in its body trying to curl around this arrow. It's really, really aching from the damage that you just caused. Next up, we're gonna have Dazzlin.
Oh, I after I shot the arrow, I move here and I'll roll to hide.
Okay, cool. Dazzlin is gonna move over here. The creature's not gonna see anyway because it's facing.
Oh, okay.
It's facing Theron.
Cool.
Be a little bit of a mission for it to turn around. Dazzlin is gonna move into
Your
this.
video went out for me, Remo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Remo was 3 dots for a second.
It's that thing with your camera that you always have to do.
Son of a bitch.
I thought it's like he walked into that one room, like an Inside Out, you know, where he gets like broken down into like the most like
Yep. that's it.
abstract thought shapes, you know.
The most diminutive thing. Dazzlin's gonna move forward to like kind of like step into this thing because she sees that Theron like comes out of here. He's trying to run away and make sure that he's safe. So she's gonna stand behind this wall and she's gonna ready herself for anything that comes out of these doors. Kalia, we don't have you. Theron, it's up to you.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
thanks for rubbing it
just-
in, Remo.
Alright,
My fault,
doing
Joe.
a
You're
frost.
dead.
Ray of Frost over.
Ray of Frost. Ray of Frost.
Okay, so you definitely hit. What's the damage? Okay, cool. You release this ray of frost, and as you do, it covers and coats this entire gelatinous creature for a lot longer than you've seen any of your ray of frost do. And you can see the creature kind of like struggling inside. You can see like it like trying to move its pseudopod arms and stuff like that. It's trying to break away, and it lives and exists inside this like frozen prison for a fair amount of time until the thing starts to crack. It's like, and it finally makes its way out. But after that hit, you can see that like it's starting to struggle to hold its form now. It's trying to pull in all the little bits and pieces of itself, like, and make itself one like kind of cohesive mess, but it's just struggling so hard just to keep itself together. Norbus is up next. He's going to do the same thing as Dazzlin. He's going to follow her lead and just like set up camp here outside the door and ready in action for anything that comes outside of this door. The Okajeli, as it's trying to pull itself together, is like reassembling slowly but surely, and it rolls forward by another 10 feet to come out towards you, Theron. Roscoe.
I 5, 10, 15, 20. I pop out right here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna freaking bolt this thing.
Bolt it, man.
A 12.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. 9.
A 9. How do you want to do this, Roscoe?
I pop out from that pillar. Already, the bolt is ready,
Okay.
and I just get on a knee, and I say, "DJ Khaled," and just clink, and just release it into the mustard man.
Okay. Cool.
The mustard man. The mustard man?
That's I know the mustard man.
You jump out from your hiding spots and you take aim as you're coming into vision of this mustard man. You release the arrow, and the arrow sails through the air and strikes it through the back. And as it strikes it, the same thing happens this time, where it's just like there's so much velocity and strength behind the arrow that it's almost as if the goo can't touch the arrow, and the arrow's got some kind of like magical force around it. Hits it from the back, penetrates it so hard that it explodes inside of this entire interior over here, just covering this entire like hallway with gelatinous goo everywhere. This creature is now dead. Dazzler and Norbus are standing outside going, what the fuck? Theron is standing outside, wiping the sweat off of his head from all those ray of frosts, and we've got our man Kalir fallen on the inside.
Well, I go over to Kaler, and I take a small amount of my auntie's grog.
Yeah.
And I put it into like the small little chalice-y thing, wooden chalice I usually carry, and I put a small bit in, and I leave it right at, man, this music's really getting it. I leave it right next to his head where Henry is as well. And then I just put my hand lightly on Henry.
Okay.
And then I stand up.
And as you putting your hand lightly down on Henry, you start feeling a compulsion. You feel a compulsion coming from Henry himself. Like there's some kind of strange sensation that you are so completely drawn to this weapon that you somehow have to pick it up and just take it with you wherever you go.
So I close my eyes.
Yeah.
And I feel this like accepting, like this permission.
Yeah.
To do it. And
then
so
I
take the axe and I just slide it out from his back. And I don't have anywhere to like put it on my thing.
Okay.
Because I don't have like a holster for it, so I just carry it 2 hands and I just start walking slowly while this music is playing. Like camera angle, like right here, kind of like upward shot. We're going upward shot and just I'm center rolling. And it exactly. And I come out and you can pans out and you can see the dwarves.
Yeah.
You see Theron walking up, and it's this beautiful, like, leveled, and I'm just holding the axe, and then I hold it with my eyes closed above my head, and I go, Khaled Windwaker, rest in peace.
And then as you're gripping the axe and you're holding it in the air, and this moment comes to an end and everyone's kind of staring at you, you hear a very slight voice in your head. It says you are not worthy.
I'm glad Revo didn't see that. And I just go, okay. And I'm like, but I will find somebody worthy. Like, that's what I tell Henry.
You have no intention of letting the axe go, but like you understand that like
I'm just the delivery
There's
boy.
there's like a point of contention between you and the axe right now.
I will find the next
We're not
Wind Waker.
worthy. We're not worthy.
We're not worthy. That was funny. It's like, you're not worthy. Well, okay. See ya.
All right, I guess you're gonna stay in this cave then.
See ya. I'm kidding.
All right, what do you
And
want to
then
do
I
next?
I look at the dwarves and I'm like, they know what just happened. And I'm like, Calaire really would be more restful if he just had, instead of that nasty goo to lay his head on in his resting place, but a pillow. Specifically, a my pillow.
You guys aren't even gonna bury me. You're just gonna leave my dead
Just gonna leave his dead
What?
body like over there.
Yeah, I'm not picking up your dead body. Have you seen my size?
That's messed
And I
up,
just tell
man.
them just to rest his head on as he lays to rest eternally.
I mean, what I say is that exactly.
Wow. So that's what I asked them. I asked if I can have the pillow to lay him to rest.
Look at they Desmond kind of like looks at you, and you can see the concern in her face. Norbus just like shakes his head with like a knowing kind of thing, like knowing how reckless adventurers are, and going into this place was always a risk. But they
Well, I'm
agree
glad-
with you that like the giving up the pillow for you, man, Kelly, is a fair response to his death and you guys trying to rid this cave or this area of the creatures.
I asked Theron if he can take the pillow and lay Kello to rest and, I don't know, do wizardy shit to his
Okay.
body to make it do the,
Who knows what the hell he's gonna do? Now,
do
now
the
he has
whole
all
like
kinds
go,
of materials for
the
grafting.
Jedi, like the Jedi ghost thing,
Yeah.
It turned Calaire into some wings.
He's like, so what's he got on him? Oh yeah, I forgot. I gotta run back and take his gold too. Okay.
I do need a thigh bone.
Yeah, so just for reference, remember that you guys have got a cleric on your team. He's just missing for a sec.
Yeah,
So
he's missing for a sec, and
He's
then
too
somebody
low level
dies.
to resurrect anybody, though, man. So
can't he do anything else? I don't even know what
I
his
can
spells
do
are.
a prestidigitation.
he could press the digitate.
The sparks
it-
in the air surround your hands, but have no effect.
Just make a fancy light show.
I tell Theron to try to tell Orsic on the wind what happened in GIF format.
In GIF format. Okay, cool.
Whoa.
Theron, I'll allow you to.
Pretty sure a second level can't do resurrection. So yeah, I guess revivify I think is a third level slot.
Man,
so you can do that to
it'd be
like
crazy.
fifth level.
Okay, well,
And that old lady in the windmill doesn't seem like she has that kind of power either.
no. I don't know if there's
Right.
anybody
What
in the
if I
village.
press to digitate again?
So you guys are standing outside. You're surrounded by very sad dwarves. The dead body of your friend is lying inside, and Theron has just lifted him up onto a pillow. The dwarves have donated to your cause. What would you like to do next?
I asked the dwarves if they'll accompany us back into town so that we can hide from the white dragon.
Okay.
I can't graft him Frankenstein style.
So, unfortunately, grafting only works on living creatures, not dead ones. So,
I can graft his
I'm not
face
dead.
onto something.
Oh, dead?
I'm not dead. Look at it,
Uh,
it's pressing me.
Enormous and Dazzin both agree that probably the safest space for them right now is to try and like hang out in this area. But they say to you, like, you can go back to your man and like let him know that like they've received the message, and they'll try and do their best to, make sure that like Kalia's body is taken care of.
Well, I tell them, well, lucky for us and all of our adventurers that were with us when we first arrived.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky for us that we went to the job board and did the jobs that the people asked us to do to come to save you when you don't even want to be saved. So thank you for
It's
that.
not like they don't want to be saved. They understand the
Thank-
threats.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just don't care.
Thanks. I guess we'll take this letter and be sad and leave. now.
What were you gonna expect them to do, dude? Come
Do
with
what
you
they
and be
do.
sad with you?
Do what the thing said about bring everybody back to town. And everybody's like, I don't want to go back to town. We're
Yeah.
like, good.
I don't know.
We're still getting paid.
They do offer a compromise. They do offer to walk you out of the compound.
Oh, thank you. Okay. You know,
Yeah.
actually, I'll take that. Take that.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
Before we
Thanks
mission,
for-
should we take a quick intermission? I need to have a pee, bro.
Intermission. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I think your intermission's going to be permanent, Carlos.
I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry to see one of our characters fall in battle, but he died bravely, and we will see you
brave.
in a few minutes. Goodbye. All right, let's roll us back into this situation. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, we've lost one of our bravest adventurers. A man of great taste, great tea, and great hair. We shall forever remember him. Hopefully at some point somebody can get him back and give us some way out of here. But as you guys are leaving, Norbus and Dazzlin are kind of walking you to the gates. So can you guys come back here to where Norbus and Dazzlin are?
Yeah.
Where is this other thing?
Keller, make sure you put that pillow in your inventory.
How do you spell that? Is it with 2 L's?
Put my pillow.
My M.
Okay, Keller, we got you back here, bro. So as you guys are leaving and the two of them are walking you out, you see 2 displaced creatures approach.
Remo, have mercy, God!
And as you're coming, like, they come around the corner and the 4 of you are coming out of these ruins. And everyone locks eyes with each other, and you can see that there's fear in everyone's eyes. Maybe not for you guys, but like for the 2 dwarves and for these 2 orcs, there's definitely fear in their eyes. They've come here to try and find some kind of resolve, and from what you can see, one of them is a female, and she's got like a small pouch that's hanging around her chest, and the other one is a male. And he's standing there, he's like got this like kind of leather armor wrapped around his neck, and he's got a massive javelin at his side, and he's got I think it's a great axe. Let me just double check. Yeah, he's got a great axe strapped to his waist as well, and so does she. She's got a great axe and a javelin, but her javelin is kind of like buried in the sheath on her back. And the 2 of them come around the corner and they notice the 2 of you. They're in a situation now where they're kind of like at a standoff. They're trying to find some kind of, what do you call it? Some place to stay and be safe. And they see everyone in front of them as a threat right now. What do you guys want to do?
Are these creatures normally like the townsfolk would definitely be terrified of them and not want anything to do with them?
Yeah, so essentially what happened
common.
was, when the White Dragon displaced the orcs from the mountains, they came down to try and find homes further down the mountain, and they've been displacing a lot of people right now. And Theron, you would know about this as well, with your discussions with what the fuck is his name? Ogma. Ogma had told you about the Shrine of Severus and that they were polluting the shrine. But they had essentially come down from the mountains to try and find a home. This is the position you guys find yourself in, and they feel completely threatened right now. Anything other than them makes them feel threatened, especially the female. Because as you're looking at her, like with this like kind of like pouch around her like chest, you can see that inside the pouch is like a little bit of movement.
Can't we just let them go into the cave and hide out?
I think you'd have to try and like reduce the kind of the tensity of the situation.
So from where I'm standing, I just kind of say like, you know, hello. Would you guys need any rations or water since you are down from the mountain? Because I know that you guys, the White Dragon, has pulled everybody into different places and different corners, and I didn't see water or rations on you guys. If you would like some.
Okay, can you roll a persuasion check?
Sure. 12.
12.
Oh. Persuasion plus 3, 15.
15. Okay. The male wolf kind of like stands in front of you, or stands at a distance, and he kind of like guards the female orc. He's like kind of like moving and shifting over, and he's like, how do we know you won't attack?
I just make sure like my crossbow's up, and I find a way to kind of like position the axe through my crossbow to where it stays.
Okay.
And then I walk up to about here really
Okay.
slowly.
And then
And I
he
said-
kind of like shifts it back as you're walking closer. He kind of
Yeah,
shifts
yeah.
it back and holds his javelin out.
And I just put down a ration, a water skin, and and my water skin down, and I just back away and say,
Okay.
I don't live here. I live in town, but if this is a safe haven for you guys, then it's definitely not dangerous anymore. We just killed 2 big old globby things.
Okay, cool. And then like as you say that, and the words kind of like ring around in his head, he kind of says, he turns around and he whispers to his partner, and he kind of like steps forward to come and collect whatever it is that you lay on the ground. He kneels down. He's holding the javelin at you, like directly at you. He's kind of fiddling through the stuff that you put down with his other hand, and he's like checking everything out. And he kind of like looks up at you. He picks up the stuff in his one arm, and he steps back a little bit. And he says, we need safe passage inside. And then you hear Norbus in the background going, orcs killed our brethren. We can't trust them.
We turn around and we tell them that we just saved their ass and they owe us. We're gonna let them in.
I was like, well, we just saved you, and we're gonna walk away, because we don't have an issue with these guys, and you guys won't come back to town with us. So, if this is the safest place for you to be, then I guess these orcs can be safe with you in this place. Or you could come with us and be safe in town. It's your call.
Can you roll me another persuasion check?
The ghost of Kalair goes, ooh, to scare the dwarves from staying here.
13.
Okay. Norvis is a little bit unsure about like your words, but Daslin kind of comes over to him and says, you know, like, Norvis, this is the best option. We don't need any more battle. We don't need any more bloodshed. We've got enough. Let's just leave. And Norvis kind of like grumbles a little bit, and he's like, he agrees. Okay, cool. Like that's probably the best path. So this orc like kind of like steps back and he waits for you guys to leave.
Okay. I start walking this way, and I'm far away, trying to be safe, and just let them know. And then I say to them, in the main chamber, there's a body of a man laying down. You can take any rations he had, but just respect the body. Feel
Okay.
free to take any of the provisions that he had with him. But he was one of our friends, and I'm sure that you would have more use out of his rations and water or anything he had, or, you know, things to make a fire. So just respect the body. And that's
They
what I
like they grant an agreement, and they kind of shift off to the side here. They're not really looking for a fight. They're mostly scared. So they kind of shift and they kind of step wide around you guys and make their way into this settlement. You guys are free to leave with Norvis and Daslin.
to be like, right when I saw those orcs, I was like, you know, it's just one of those days, dude.
I was kind of worried.
Pop
I was
some
kinda
caps
worried.
and
Kinda
some
worried.
orcs.
Okay, so you guys make your way back to Fandolin. It's kind of a long trek, so it takes you the rest of the day. You've been here for maybe like 3 hours. So you arrive back in Fenlin maybe around about 9 o'clock or something like that in the evening. I'm not going to bring Norbus and Dazzlin with you because they'll find their own way.
Cool.
In the village. But you guys can decide what you want to do from here.
Let's go turn in these quests.
Okay,
and
cool.
Get our gold.
Alrighty, so the two of you walk up to Harbin Wester's house, which is over here. And what do? You knock on the door?
I go up to the door, and as I usually do, as I walk up, I go, "Hey up! Hey up!"
Alright.
Go up and tick, 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 knock on the door.
Alright, and you hear like thundering of footsteps coming downstairs on the inside. Jesus, this music, man, it's too much. Hold on a second. It's a little bit better, but only a little bit. You hear this like thundering of footsteps coming downstairs, and you see the little slot in the top of the door go slide open. He's like, "What do you want?" And he's
put my
like
hand-
looking around, and he's trying to see where the person is that's at the door. He's like about to close the handle. What do you do?
I just go, "Hey up!" and I put my hand up, and I go, "Down
Okay.
here."
Okay.
And
And
is
you look.
this, whose house did you say this was?
It's Harbin Wester's house.
Okay.
Yeah. And he kind of like looks down through the hole. You can see the sweat coming off of his brow. This chubby man is like, he looks stressed, but he also looks kind of creepy, staring through this little porthole. And he says, "What do you want?"
And I was like, "Well, me and my group of friends, we went to Adabra's windmill, and we also went to the dwarf caves. So I wanted to come in and receive payment for these great quests."
How do I know you went there?
And I was like, "Well, we do
Well-
have this signed letter from Adabra. And she's going to stay there. We helped her get out of a bad situation, but potion making is really her love and her passion. She wants to stay there and do it. We did say that there was places that she could get started here and to come into town. We let her know the danger, and so she wrote off for us that she would like to stay there. So here's this letter, and I just kind of pop up and try to, I don't even wait for him to try to grab it. I just like try to pop it right into the hole, the
Okay.
little slidey hole.
So you hear a little bit of fumbling on the other side of the door as he tries to catch the paper that you've shoved through the door, and he lashes it and he opens. You can hear the rustling of the paper as he opens the note, and he reads it, and he's like, "Okay, fair." And he puts his hand out, and he puts his sweaty hand out, and he's got like a bag at the end of his hand.
I'm just jumping, trying to.
He just drops it on you. He drops it on
Yeah.
you. There's 25
So
gold
I-
pieces, and now you need to convince him that the dwarves are safe as well, or that you took the message.
So then I say, and as for the dwarves, we met up and we actually helped them get rid of some mustard monsters. And sadly, I hate to inform you this because I know that you'll be deeply impacted by it. But our good friend Calaire was killed in battle. It's very sad. But the dwarves were going to stay. They actually gave us this letter saying that they were going to stay. And as they walked us out, orcs approached us. And the dwarves agreed to come with us back into town. And we actually allowed the dwarves to stay up there. So, just to double down there, Mr. Wester, dwarves won't be coming down here because we gave them a place to stay up there. So, if anything, we also just help kind of keep orcs away from the area. So, just, that's just a little helpful little side thing. But the dwarves did come into town. They're on their own way, but they did give us this letter as well. If you would like to, let me just can you just put your hand out? Can you just put your hand out and grab the note? Can you just put it?
And he kind of like picks it out of your hand,
Thank you.
like
Okay,
this,
thank you.
on top of the door, and he reads the note. He's like kind of a little bit He's a little bit suspect of the fact that there's just a note from them. He understands it from a dapper, but not from them. Do you want to roll a persuasion check?
Sure. It's low. 7. Or,
A 7?
Yeah, 7.
Really? A 7?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He's like, takes the letter, crumples it up into a little ball, and he throws it out in the little porthole, and he says, "You'll need better proof than that. Come back when you have it." And he shuts the door, and you just hear him walking back up the stairs.
And then, can he hear me anymore at the door? Or is he gone?
No, he's walked away.
All right. Well, do we know where the dwarves went?
They're kind of wandering around town. I guess they're probably going to try and find some kind of accommodation somewhere. In the meantime, until they can maybe perhaps go back to their excavation, because they know that there's treasure there. They just haven't found it yet.
Well, I go to what's her name? Lenine
Mm-hmm.
at Lion Shield, real quick.
Yeah.
I think it's right here.
Yeah.
And I just stop in real quick, and I'm like, Lenine.
Hello, Roscoe. You back to steal from me again?
This time, only to steal information. Have you seen 2 dwarves in town recently walk in? I figured they'd probably come here first, or they'd walk into here. I need them to come with me so I can collect the money from bringing them into town.
I have to be honest with you, Roscoe. I've only just opened the doors after coming back from Stonehill Inn with your aunts, and
Oh, God.
I'm feeling a little bit wavy, so I don't think I would be much of a good noticer right now.
That's okay. Well, how about this?
Mhm.
I'll leave this for you to sharpen in the morning. And I just set Henry on the counter.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just go ahead and leave this here. Sadly, our friend Keller died in battle.
Okay, and as your
Oh, very
hands
sad.
let go of the axe on the counter, you're compelled to not let go of the axe, and you want to pick it up again as she tries to reach for it.
Okay. And I just say well, since it's so recent, maybe I'll bring it back to sharpen tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
And I just grab it again. But I say, well, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow then. I'm going to go look for some doors so I can get some gold.
Okay.
You're great. You're the best blacksmith ever.
So are
in town.
you. That's
Yeah.
good.
So
All
I
right.
guess I go back to the inn.
Yeah. Alrighty, and at this stage, you guys can take some time to kind of, collect on the day and try and understand what went down. I think at some stage
Mourn.
the dwarves might walk into this place, since it's the only inn in the entire town, and this is where you brought them. But yeah, it's up to you what you want to do now. I think we might, since we had such a devastating strike to our team, we might want to cut it at some stage. But
I just planned on asking the dwarves, not in a very forceful way, just be like, hey, you guys get some rest, get some sleep, and then tomorrow, if you guys could come with me to Mr. Wester's house and just show him they all exist, they all came to town, so we can actually collect the money that they promised for bringing y'all back, because he didn't believe the note y'all wrote. So that'd
Okay.
be cool if y'all could do that.
so you guys wait around for maybe an hour or something like that, and you see them walking in, kind of disheveled and not knowing what to do. And Toblin kind of walks up to them and invites them in, and chats to them a little bit. You see them speaking and sort of huddle, and he kind of nods and agrees and allows them a stay for the evening. And that's the opportunity that you have in order to speak to them. And they agree that they'll come and speak to Hob and Wester in the morning with you.
Right.
And then at this stage as well, Theron and Roscoe, I guess while you guys are sitting down, kind of thinking about the day and trying to figure out your next moves and like where your friend's gone and why your other friend is not there. You feel your body start kind of like cracking and moving. It's like, and your bones are kind of like shifting a little bit, and it's like everything inside you feels very, very painful, but only for a very, very split second, right? And as the pain kind of like sets, you can feel your muscles start like growing and flexing. And Roscoe, you even grow like about half an inch taller.
Holy cow! Wow.
And
That's
the
huge.
two of you have now leveled up to, what is it, level 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the two of you are now at level 3.
This all happened while I was tightening up my crossbow, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden was like, shh, and it like super tightened, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Kalia would have been at level 3, the poor man. But he is no longer with us.
Okay, you're gonna have to tell me how to do this again. I think I remember.
I think you can go to the character mancer. So if you go to your
It's up
character
in the
sheet.
top right of your character sheet.
Yeah.
Are you trying to? Ryan, were you just trying to tell me how to?
Oh, look at that. The student has become the teacher. Yeah.
What do we do about the experience point? What's that situation?
You don't have to worry about that because the way that I'm leveling you is based on the events. So depending on which
Dope.
events you go through, then you'll level up. And while you guys are busy leveling up as well, so Theron, one of the things I think the guys didn't tell you was that after you had drunk the mushroom tea, you had received this kind of like sense of like innate fear within your body, and you became super, super scared of just like wherever you were sitting. And then that fear kind of solidified itself into a vision of a spider, a giant spider that appeared in front of you. And it grew bigger and
Like real
bigger.
life.
Yeah, it grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until finally it was standing there and you were trying to like cast and like kill the spider, but then everything just disappeared and you were back in the inn with the rest of the guys. Following on from there.
Real quick to confirm, I go to the character mancer part. Do
Yeah.
level plus, is that right, Carlos?
Yeah.
I'm just hitting basically next through everything.
Yeah. So have you still got Kalia's axe, right,
Yes.
Roscoe? Okay, so you can feel like a leaking of kind of Kalia's essence coming into your body. And like you start getting the flashes of memory that Kalia had, like the memory about his grandmother finding the axe and creating the kind of like the clan around the axe for Tempest, and like making all of the stuff sort of like come together. You start remembering his grandfather, and it's only in little like kind of like bits and pieces, but it's like it's almost as if Kalia is like kind of like his memories are living through in you, but it's because you're holding onto the axe. But there's something weird that happens after that. There's this like kind of like, even for you, it doesn't feel like it's specifically Kalia, but it feels like a fresh memory. And what you're remembering is you kind of like sit back in the chair and you are like kind of like sitting there and you kind of feel wavy for a second and your eyes just kind of like gloss over. And what Theron sees is like your eyes go completely white and you're just sitting in the back of this chair. And you remember an area called the Wave Echo Cave. And this kind of like starts making sense in all the other memories that Kalia had kind of rejuvenated in his time. And the Wave Echo Cave was actually linked to the mine, the original mine that you guys had come here to look for. And you remember also defeating a magical drow that was trying to hold up your ability to go in there and save the people that were in the cave already. And the Rockseeker brothers. So initially what had happened was The memory had kind of like portrayed itself as if Rockseeker was a name of one of the people, but it was actually a series of the brothers. So the 4 dwarves that were friends with Orsic were brothers, and they were all, their surnames were Rockseeker.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Theron, at this stage, like, as you come in and you're like resolving yourself from battle, you remember a name. It starts like rolling around in your head. It's like this name. It's like Nesnar. It just keeps on like pulsing inside your mind. And you remember that this like creature took 2 forms. This person like, or this like entity took 2 forms, and one of those forms was a spider, but the other one was a drow elf. And while you and the rest of the party that you're with, Orsek, Kalir, and Roscoe had found your way into this Wave Echo mine, you remember fighting this Nesnar character. And as one of his last attempts to try and escape, you remember him trying to cast a spell. And in your knowledge of spells and like what you understand about magic, it seemed very similar to a modify memory spell. I guess his intent was to try and escape and convince you guys that he wasn't the bad guy. But while he was trying to cast the spell, he managed to release it, but he fell as he was releasing the spell. So as that happened, the spell was almost complete, but it was incomplete as it hit your entire party. And yeah, that's it.
Now that I feel leveled up,
Yeah.
I go
If I
to
were
sleep.
if I were still alive, I would say,
Wait,
"That's not
can't
like
with
the way
level
that
3? Can I
time
do a
spell
thing to
says
bring
limit."
Carlos or our boy
That's
back?
level 5. That's a level 5.
I
Nah,
think
not even
Oh.
wizards can do that anyway. It's clerics or paladins or bards or druids. Wizards could just kill stuff. They
yeah.
can't
So what's
bring
the
anybody back to life
dude?
unless
What's
you're a
the
necromancer. You could bring me back as a skeleton.
Wait,
What
can
is-
we do that?
Sick.
Kelly.
so what are the spells, dude? To bring you back?
Revivify would be the first one that you could get. It's a 3rd level spell, but no classes don't get that until 5th level. And it'd be, yeah, I think bards, clerics, paladins, or druids can get that.
And that's also the last minute as well. It has to be like almost
Yeah, it
instant.
has to be within a minute. And then the next one is Raise Dead, I think. That might be a 3rd level spell also. That's within 10 days. Both of them are have very expensive regents also, like 1,000 gold worth of a diamond, I think, or 1,000 gold for Raise Dead, and then 500 gold worth of diamonds for Revivify. He's dead, man. He's dead.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Carlos.
Again.
That's
I'm so
So-
sorry, man.
Did the axe tell me? Wait a second. Did the axe tell me? So this axe usually has been in his family, right?
Yeah, so his family found the axe, and it's been with his family the entire time.
So that's why I don't feel like I can use it or I'm worthy because I'm not.
No, the axe
One of
literally told you aren't. So it's like it only wants someone from his family.
Oh, so it's okay. I gotta find a Wind Waker. Got it.
Yeah,
Wind Waker.
yeah.
I
that's-
thought it was just biased against short people. Like that's
No.
messed up. That's messed up.
Doesn't
Just
have,
because
doesn't
he's
have
little.
stature issues. It just
Because he's
has.
little doesn't mean hey.
Well, I go to bed and wait for the morning to go take the dwarves to collect my reward. That's my goal.
Alrighty, well, we
I
can
need-
save that. I think we can save that for the next one.
I am putting, just so I remember. So we got 25 from that one.
You got 25 from the
So-
first one.
Put Ryan. Don't forget to put 10
also-
gold in yours. I'm gonna take 10. You're gonna take 10. I'm gonna put 5 in the group pot.
And then also on the way back, while you guys are traveling with the dwarves, they handed you the 2 sending stones. So the sending stones they're objects of communication. You can use them once a day. You speak into the stone, and the receptive stone will pick up the message and relay it.
Where do I add that though?
So you can go to just hold on a second. So if you go to the little eye, so the circle with the eye, you can type in there at the top. You can just type in sending stone, and then you can drag the sending stone from this compendium thing into your character sheet where your inventory is, and it should
It
show
didn't
up.
come up.
Sending SEND.
I don't think sending stones are like part of the core game. Well,
Mhm.
unless it's like from is it an item that's in this module? Because then it should be there. But if not, then
It's definitely in
don't
this.
see it.
It's definitely in this module. Just hold on a
like
second.
it. Oh, you know what? It's not gonna be in the compendium. It's you just have to type it in that you have it pretty much. Or you can copy and paste the text because it's probably like in your journal, Remo. There's like a listing for it there, but then there isn't a
Okay.
way to drag it from the journal into the. It's a stupid Roll20 thing.
I just added it to your thing, Theron. Also we got Roscoe.
Or you could do is you could. Oh, if there's like a journal entry like in your journal, Remo, you could like right click it and then make it so that it shows up in everybody else's journals. That way we can like click on it to see like what it does in the journals and just say that it's in your inventory.
You put it in mine.
Yeah, I put it in yours and I put it in Theron's.
Great.
Yeah, so you guys have the receptive sending stones.
Great.
But yeah.
Before bed, I just say like, "Love you, good night." into it, so Theron gets that message over. But
Theron, this is the first time you're using a sending stone. And you hear an echo from inside your backpack going, "Love you. Good night." Shazam, Sam, Sam, Sam,
and I just laugh and toss it around and then throw it in my.
Sweet. Alrighty, guys, we're going to call it for the evening. Thank you so much for stopping by for the stream.
Bye, Claire.
Really appreciate you guys. We're going to have to celebrate Claire's death in some kind of fantastical and wonderful way. But yeah, we'll catch you again next time. Goodbye.